Okay, I see somebody has made it back in because I noticed that it had 0 people. So that's, I am counted as the 0th person. Hopefully this one will work a little bit better. I've considered getting some cable to actually run directly from the modem to the computer. I was kind of originally planning on doing that once I start doing the live streams from the basement, which may not be all that much longer. I'm kind of getting set up for that. That was part of the help I had yesterday. There's no one here now. I'm talking to myself. Okay. All right. Whoops. Icy Flame. Hello. There must have been a delay because I saw your message pop up and there was still 0 people in here. That was kind of odd. Welcome. Yeah, so oh, JB, welcome back. And again, now it says 1 person. Now it says 2. So there's a delay between when people are actually here and when it shows them here. That's interesting. Is it any better now, JB? Because I didn't really change anything other than stopping it and restarting it. Woohoo, 4 people. Welcome. So I was just about to open up some bulk, and I didn't know how long I'd had it, so I happened to have the packing slip in it. And I had paid for this, and it's actually 2 different lots. I paid for this on April 2nd of 2021. So this is over a year old. And just to show how old it is, I now know what is in this. This was 2 different minifigure lots that I bought from the same Goodwill. One was 2.4 pounds. They were both 2.4 pounds. So 4.8 pounds of Lego, and I paid a total with shipping and handling and taxes, $588. I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't get these this cheaply anymore. All this Udris. Hello back. Oh, there's a lag in audio. Well, if it was, it's not a big deal, JB. Icy Flame seems to be talking about there's a lag in audio, so who knows? I think I might need to invest in that cable sooner than later. Oh, good. Well, that's good. So yeah, I'm quite impressed. Almost 5 pounds of bulk Lego for just $588. Not bulk Lego, but bulk minifigures for $588. And this is the kind of stuff I would have liked to find last week when I was opening up boxes. Now, don't get me wrong. Opening up Gentry's Lego was pretty cool. Even though it ended up being kind of crappy. I would say 1/3 of the entire lot was not Lego. And of the Lego, because I've actually already category sorted it, I would probably say 10 to 20% was not saleable, especially like tiles. They were just hosed. So, but yeah, so I have 4.8 pounds of minifigure parts in this box. So there's only 3 people watching, but boy, hopefully it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to this because, I mean, this stuff's been here for 18 months, sitting, waiting to be opened. Piece of paper. And it look, yep, they've got each lot separately. I mean, they're both way the same, so not like I can really tell the difference. But we're going to put this box down. And here's the first one. So this is a lot of minifigure parts and whatnot. Not to be confused with the sales platform Whatnot. Not affiliated. I've used it. I've never actually sold anything on it, and I don't know that I will. I think it's a little gimmicky, but that's just me. I also think it's more of a popularity contest in some ways, but again, that's just me. Who knows? All right, so already I can tell you there is some non-Lego, non-minifigure stuff. Because here, the little Friends base, it's like a swivel. It's not, maybe that's for a minifigure. I get that. But it itself is not a minifigure. So I guess they included it. So here is something right from the Pick-a-Brick wall. I mean, I have no idea if anybody played with these or anything, so they're still considered used, but that's pretty cool. I mean, there's a king over here. He's got a chalice. This guy's got a police jacket on. He's backwards, but he also has a guitar. So the police play guitar. Why not? And then this guy's got Thor's hammer, and then there's also a sword in the background, almost like a scimitar thing, but they all have their accessory, so I guess it's a bonus accessory. Fun fact, my local Lego store was running out of these little plastic containers, and I had been saving them, but I gave them all back so they could reuse them. This one is dented. They probably wouldn't want it back, but I gave them all back to them. And I actually, earlier this year, brought them an entire big box full of their large bags because they had run out. And they'd run out of bags again recently. They actually had gotten from somewhere just simple brown paper bags for shipping, or not shipping, for people buying stuff in the store. So I may need to bring back another load of bags for them. I don't have nearly as many of the large ones, but I never brought them any of the smaller sizes, so I've got a bunch of those. Like an auction-based Patreon. Oh, you just go to spend more than you need to because you know who's selling it. Doesn't look like a place for deals. Yeah, I was on Whatnot way before the wave. So there was somebody that I'm aware of in the Lego community who worked for Lego, Kevin Hinkle. Great guy. And actually, if you are curious at all and like artwork or doodles, he's got a book on Kickstarter right now. It's a Doodle Stream Live. He's been doing a doodle stream every week, I think, for like the last 2, 3, 4 years. And this is going to be a book compiling a bunch of those doodles. So go check that on Kickstarter. I'm backing it myself. But anyway, he was getting out of Lego for reasons that we won't be getting into. And he posted a bunch of stuff that he was selling, and I expressed some interest in it. I ended up flying down to where he lives, and I rented a van and drove back with a bunch of stuff. But some stuff of his, he had basically shipped off to a friend of his who was going to be selling it on Whatnot. And I was like, what's Whatnot? And so I looked into it, and I got on Whatnot, and I ended up buying some stuff from him, this friend of his, through Whatnot. And I think I got some deals, but this is back in like January. It really new in the Whatnot Lego era back then. I mean, I don't remember ever seeing anybody else selling Lego on Whatnot at that point. And then it was like maybe March, it started to jump up, and a lot more people were doing it. Pango, you're attacking that plastic, I see. You got a cat on the ground attacking the puff packs. There's one person here. I almost feel like it would be a shame to go through these minifigs, but you know what? They're not here. People could be here, but they decided not to be, which is fine. I get it. Life, you got things going on. I'm certainly not as organized, technically proficient, or charismatic as the guys from Just a Brick in a Bucket, but I'm doing my part. People say they want to stream on Saturday. We're doing a stream on Saturday. Hello. All right, so I'm just going to start pulling stuff out, and it's going to be a new thing for me, kind of showing stuff to the camera, especially now that it's not set up. But I guess you can kind of see him. He's got some sort of a symbol on his breast there. This guy, he's kind of cool. Yep. That's a cool one. I kind of like the hairpiece on this mini doll. It's like a trans purple. That's really cool. It reminds me of like the Monster High stuff, but clearly it is not. Icy Flame, just curious, do you have a Bricklink store? I'm sure if it was you or another Lego YouTuber said they would eventually. That is me. It exists. It's closed, and there's currently 2 items in inventory because I was testing something, and it's the same Polybag twice. I found out one interesting thing of how it all works, and it explained something that I was looking for a while. Like, oh, so that's why. So this, I'm betting this came out of the Elves line, this mini doll, because this one has the ears of an elf. So there are some elves mini dolls in here, which is pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. I'm getting notifications on my thing. Is there anything I need to worry about? I don't think so. What is this? Oh yeah, picture of Lego sets at Costco. All right, well, thank you for that. I know they're there. I'll get them sometime, maybe. All right, back to the live stream. All right, so yeah, we're just gonna reach in. Oh, this guy has no hands, but an interesting looking torso nonetheless. I'm not seeing a lot of stuff that looks super awesome, but you know, we'll get there. Like, I think this guy has a scarf on. It's upside down, so it almost looks like the bottom of a Darth Vader helmet. This almost looks like a kid-sized Hulk. All right. I'm gonna guess maybe one of the Jurassic World sets, perhaps. I don't know. This one, it looks like the face is a little worn off. I realize that you're not being able to see a lot of these really well. I wish there was a way I could fix that easily. Oh, interesting. It's like a shark suit guy. But an interesting thing I noticed, he's got like these dark bluish gray air tanks. So where's our dark bluish gray spaceman, Lego? We want them. Are you done attacking that plastic bag there, Pango, huh? Oh, okay. A handless and one armless Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. It could be better, I suppose, but we're just pulling stuff out. Here's another guy. He's got 2 faces. Oh, look. It is. It's a space guy. He's got one of the half and half diagonal torsos with the classic space logo there in the green section. That's pretty cool. And he's got the green air tanks. I'm pretty sure this is a Chima guy. They probably don't sell all that well. Although, you know, people could use the Chima figures in like Halloween displays, like people in costumes. Come on, people, get creative. Here's a shark. I don't remember the sharks having printed eyes. He's got printed eyes. That's kind of interesting to me. I mean, maybe I just don't remember correctly, but I don't remember it. All right, I'm doubting it's real Lego, but is the guy real Lego? The guy is real Lego, at least his torso is. And he's holding a molded piece of pizza. Like the crust is set up to being held by a minifigure hand, but I don't think it's actually, I don't think it's Lego, but we're going to toss it in there anyway. Futron. Oh, is that what he is? Okay. Enjoys playing around with that. Yeah. Pango will attack any kind of plastic, so I have to be careful with that. I mean, he doesn't seem to be eating it. He'll sometimes chew it, but I think he's just like, these are the puff packs, and I think he's basically taking the air out of them. He'll get his claws and his teeth through it until the air comes out. I don't know. He's just a goof. Not as strange as Kiko. Kiko is avoiding the floor, and he doesn't like fabric, and like if he sees fabric, he like stalks it and like bats at it and stuff. I'm like, he wasn't like that for months and months, and then something happened. Chima torsos are literally cheaper than the arms and hands alone. Oh, so I guess you're saying get rid of take the arms and hands off and sell those separately. Here's another figure here. I wish I could find I mean, I know somebody had said previously, like if I block my face, it'll. Let me try this again. Let's just try some random figure. Oh my gosh, look at the face on this one. Well, you will in a moment, hopefully. Whoops, let's do it this way. Yeah, I guess that maybe kind of works. I don't know. How clear is that? Does that seem clear? Yeah, sleeping in an empty box. They like playing with boxes too. I think this is the second one like this that I've seen, like just in a few moments. There's another one. I got some random hair. Here's another elf hair, just the hair piece, but you see the little ears sticking out there. This is a little space helmet thing for the air pack system. Oh, here's an interesting one. He's got a nice armor chest piece, and then he's got like that fencing helmet type thing on. That's kind of cool. I mean, it's probably not actually for fencing, but it's still kind of cool. I don't see that it says Lego on it, but it might be in a place that I'm not seeing quickly. I mean, it feels like Lego. I mean, it's got the right texture to it. And let's see. The torso is Lego, so and I think the head is too, so who knows. All right, I'll keep this handy. Oh, look, another non-Lego piece, or non-minifigure piece. So there is some of that too. Let me get a little container. I got a bunch of containers here that I kind of like brought over, not knowing what I was going to find. I figured maybe I'd be sorting through, you know, oh, here's some figure stuff, here's some non-Lego, so on and so forth. Ninjago. Oh yeah, the guy could have been a Ninjago figure for sure. Here's somebody that says, it says X Team on his shirt. Don't you recognize the face there, camera? There's a face. Look at it. Kind of a very plain looking figure, smooth hair, just there you go. Doesn't even have back printing on the torso, just like I got like a vest on or something. That's more of a suit, I guess. All right, so this is this is a Minecraft torso and legs with, I believe, a Star Wars head. I don't know what this guy's name is, but I think he's one of the Star Wars dudes. Is this Plo Koon? I think it might be. Plo Koon. 3 people watching the stream. It's probably the best one as far as content, the Lego-wise that I've had, and there's only 3 people here. This one I'm pretty sure is a Ninjago guy. He looks like a Ninjago guy. He's got the scarf hiding his face like a Ninjago guy. I still think the scarf is on upside down. I don't know if that's true or not. Let me just take this off and see if I turn that piece upside down, does it look any better to me? Maybe not. Maybe they did have it right. It just looks weird to me. Nothing saying you couldn't do it the other way, though. I guess that's probably how it's supposed to look there. Just covering his mouth a little bit. Didn't recognize the head on the Minecraft figure. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see if I can get a better focus on it for you. Kevin Who? Hello. Yeah, it's just not really focusing well. Anyway, for those people who may have missed it, this is a bulk lot of 2 lots that I bought from the same Goodwill well over a year ago that I just opened, and they're both minifigure lots. I got almost £5 for under $600. And so there's a little timestamp for you for what the going price of minifigures was at the time. I'm pretty sure they were both auctions too, because one I paid $251 for, and the other one I paid $281. So it doesn't seem like they were a buy it now because they were the exact same price, or exact same weight. Looks almost like the guy from the first Chris Pine Star Trek movie. Maybe it's not Lego. Maybe it's not Lego. There's another little construction worker dude. I'm also kind of only picking up ones that are like full figures, like head, torso, and legs. With or without hair or hat, that's fine. But there's plenty of pieces in here that are like, don't have something attached. Another little construction guy. Well, this one's interesting. I like his armor. You guys are like, let's see. All right, well, here he is. Come on. Oh, no, don't. There we go. Almost looks like he could be a football player with that padding. All right, that face does not look like Lego to me. I don't know. It's suspect to me. The torso is Lego. Well, we'll see if you guys can see the face. Is it two-sided? Nope, it's only one-sided. He's got hair, too, and I'm going to leave it on because maybe it'll make it slightly less creepy looking. But to me, that's a creepy-looking face. Nexonite armor. Might be a Nexonite fig with that. Okay, awesome. That was a direct message to me, I think. I better check that. Oh, no, it's a mention, I think. Who mentioned me where? Oh, I bet. Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. Okay. Somebody had, well, it's not important to go over what it was. We're just going to continue looking at the figures. So here's a pirate. Awesome. He's got the peg leg to prove it. It's like I got bit by that shark, the one with the eye printing. He was in this bag, and I stole this piece of wood from someone. I made myself a leg. There, I made a story. I'm stuck in the bag here. Here's some guy that has picked up a hoagie, I guess, or a sub, or a grinder, or what do you call that in your area? A hoagie, a sub, a grinder. We generally call them subs around here, but I mean, I'm familiar with there being other terms. Grinder came up in a video I watched yesterday, and hoagie is just kind of like, that's a known one too. Take care, JB. Enjoy the balloons. Have fun with that. Keep the kids in line. When are you going through the figures first time? You can sort by me. Yeah, I sub. Very good. Yeah, I probably could do that, but I think in a lot of the cases, like if I don't know the theme, that's going to slow me down at this stage in dealing with it. And right now, I'm just trying to have some content to have conversation with people with. I think if I was going through stuff more officially, I think my plan would be to do that, to sort by theme. And then anything that's like the figure is consisting of parts that don't normally go together, I would probably pull apart and then sort the parts by theme. Like here, her legs, they're just a standard dark blue. I think it's dark blue. Yeah, it's dark blue. And so I wouldn't put that in any theme. It'd just go in like a legs section. But her torso could very well go with a theme. It's probably city. And that sort of thing. I really like how Pop's Block Shop has the theme drawers. This one may be one of the Chinese New Year set figures. She's very much looking like she's got some fancy Chinese garb on. Very simple bob cut hair. That's kind of cool. Now my phone's going off. I mean, if it's important, I should know about it, but maybe it's not. All right, so basically, somebody's at Costco and a bunch of people are placing orders on some of the Lego they have there, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. All right, well, here, this looks like a complete figure. It's probably worth $1. It's Steve. I think that's Steve. Oh, here's Wild Style. See, I know some of these figures, and I will continue to learn. That's just a part of the whole process. Man, there's a lot of like partial figures here. Come on, here's one. Just not really anything special looking, but there it is. Oh, look, I've got a Princess Leia keychain. That's kind of cool. It's different. I like it. This looks like maybe a policewoman of some sort, or maybe a firewoman, but they usually have red for the fire people, I think. This is probably another Ninjago guy. He's got some sort of a gi-looking torso. There is a lot that isn't actually set up right now. This is strange. Holy moly. So he's got two faces on the head, but we're going to leave this one on. I question whether or not the head is the correct head for this, although it does look like it's a Jester's outfit, but he's got a more military-looking helmet on and a sword. But that face, I don't know. Can you see the face? He's like, no, don't, no, over here. There you go. See, there's the face. Kind of scary. This is kind of cool. This is a robot looking guy. I wonder if he's from one of the Marvel sets. Maybe one of the Ultron versions or something. Man, I wish I could get this to focus better. It's just so focused on focusing on me. Ha! Another Ninjago guy probably here. Speaking of minifigure keychains, do you ever have any of them tag along with you? Oh, I do. I don't know I do have my keys on me. I usually put them down, but I went out quickly this morning to get Dunkin' Donuts, and I left the keys in my pocket. I do not have a Lego guy on my current keys. I have an older set of keys that I have hanging up in the entryway, and I'm pretty sure there's one on there. A friend of mine that I used to work with gave me a dwarf keychain. They had gone down to Disney, and they had some of the dwarves from Lord of the Rings as keychains. And I had that in my pocket on my keys for years, and like the hands and arms ended up coming off, and I can't remember. Maybe the legs didn't come off, but it was in bad shape. It was in bad shape. So at this point, I would not recommend using a Lego figure keychain. The ones that are just bricks, those would probably be all right. They wouldn't, you know, they're gonna still get worn, but it wouldn't be too terribly bad. Here's an interesting one here. Does it help? I don't know. Does it help holding the paper up at all? Because if it doesn't, then I won't do it. But if it does help, I'll do it. Got one of the husky dogs. Not saying the dog is overweight or anything, but this figure is got a loose arm. Just very standard. Green torso, red arms, face, blue legs. Probably a bash up of all sorts of stuff. Huh. Interesting. It's a one-armed female boxer. Okay. Let's go for it. Another construction guy. I wonder if there's a construction set or two in here. Oh, interesting. A few of these guys, probably straight from one of the games, because it's got the corner brick that they're all sitting on. Okay, well, if it helps a bit, then I will continue doing it. I'm just going to fold this so it's a little smaller. Might be easier to hold on to. Oh, another keychain. One of the Ninjago guys. At least he's got hands and arms. That's a cool thing. Let's see. This guy has no hands, but hands are easy enough to replace. Look very robotic looking as well. The figure is out of focus with the paper or without. No need for holding the paper. 50-50. All right. Well, there's only two people here, so I guess I will save the effort for the time being. This one definitely says police on the back of his torso. Let's get the little helmet thing on. Let's see. Oh, whoa. Whoa. All right. This is very different. Get that big bulbous thing on his head. It's got some orange printing on the top. That's different. And then we just go to a guy with simple brown printing for like a leather jacket or something like that. This old guy has got a pickaxe. All right, so here's an interesting looking figure. This is, geez, it kind of vaguely reminds me of Deadpool, but I'm pretty sure it's not Deadpool. Probably the most misjudged figure ever. But this guy is all, he looks like burned up. I don't know. Ninjago Medusa. Oh, Nexonites, perhaps. All right. I'll take it. This is like very generic. I'm a farmer. I got brown hair and a beard, a mustache and a beard and glasses. There you go. Another very simple figure here. More of these from some game. The blue ones, though. We should probably keep those a little separate down by the keychains. Oh, a skeleton. Printed. He's got a printed torso. And yeah. And I think I just broke one of his legs. Yep. Anyway, he's got a printed torso. This skeleton. He's up at the collarbone and down around the waist. And then I'm holding his other leg, which I broke. So there you go. He's kind of cool. Looks like maybe a Star Wars torso, but the head, not so sure. All right. Looks like a low-slung belt or maybe a couple of daggers or something in like leg sheaths or something. And then Joggle Skeleton. Very good. He's got some sort of a flamish logo on the back. You're almost never going to see it. Well, maybe right there. I can kind of see it there. We got a dolphin. And a seal. That's kind of cool. A little seal. Whoops. Dropped the seal. Another simple dude. Another simple dude. Another construction worker. There definitely had to be somebody who liked construction workers here. All right, so this looks like a handless and hairless Robin. I mean, you got the R on the torso. What else could it be, right? Something tells me that this particular torso with like a work type vest doesn't necessarily go with those short legs. But who knows? Maybe. All right. We've got a surfer dude. He's got the short swim trunks on. And I don't know what they intend. I mean, because if you look, when he raise his hands up, he's got the side printing too on his shorts, which is really cool. But no back printing. So, like, are his shorts missing the butt? What's going on here, people? All right. Looks like it's just another few generic pieces thrown together. Oh, a printed lobster. I don't know if I've seen this one either. Little eyes printed on it. That's kind of cool. Assuming, of course, it's real Lego. We've got to check all that too. We've got right next to each other 2 bunnies. I guess they're multiplying like rabbits. Enough of my humor. All right, so here's a guy with a cape that's kind of sticking up. He has no hands, though. And he's an angry-looking dude. Partially because, like, half of his face looks like it's maybe burnt or something. But that side of the face there, facing the camera, it's got, like, a lot of orange to it. Yes, it is a minifigure lot. Actually, it's one of 2. Be kind all the time. Welcome. At the beginning of the stream, I basically just grabbed a small box, which this is the box, and I had no idea from the label when it had been shipped to me, so I didn't know how long it had been sitting for. And but I had the packing slip. When I looked at the packing slip, I saw 2 things. One, it was 2 lots of minifigures, but also that I had paid for them on April 4th of 2021. So I probably had it in April of 2021, which basically means it's like 16 months ago. And basically, both of the lots were 2.4 pounds apiece. And so 4.8 pounds, and I paid $588. So I think that's an amazing price right there. But yeah, let's see. Sounds like you just described Krennic and Ronan. Oh, this guy has like a medieval looking scale armor on, though. Yeah, let's see if I can hold it up again better. I don't know. But yeah, it'd be his right side of the face. There's like this orange smear, and there's actually, it looks like there's a scar on the left side of the face. No second face print. Purple or bluish sash too. Well, this is definitely on a white cape. It's like a bluish, almost, I would almost say sand blue. It's kind of dirty and worn. Who knows? I mean, there's a chance it's not Lego. I mean, I'm not checking for that right now. Here's a Ninjago looking dude with a big hammer. I mean, maybe they don't actually have hammers. Oh, wow. Another one of those freaky, creepy looking faces. My gosh. What were they thinking? It's crazy. All right. This guy, he looks cool. It's got a green cape. I'm not sure the torso and the legs go together, but he looks kind of cool to me. No, I wouldn't say there's any big winners, mainly just because I'm just kind of going through and looking, and it's like, it's mostly generic stuff. I mean, there was a handless and one arm missing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle at one point. There's this guy. His cape is kind of messed up along the bottom edge, so it's got some spots on it. There's also a ton of figures in here that aren't actually complete. I'm only actually holding up the ones that have legs, torso, and head. They may or may not have a accessory, and they may or may not have hair or headpiece or anything like that. But as long as they've got the head, torso, and legs, I'm showing them. Even if they don't have arms or hands, I'll show them. But there's plenty of stuff in here where I'm seeing it's just a head or it's just a torso, and some of that stuff might have value in itself. And this is just the first of the two lots. Like this one, this is just a very generic. It's like it's probably one of the city space themes. There's like a little jet or something on the right side of the thing. I don't know. Who knows? Another mini doll. There was a couple of elves mini dolls right off the bat as well. One of them had this cool hair, this like translucent blue hair or purple. I thought that one was kind of cool. All right, come on, full figures. Okay, here's another Ninjago figure. Well, maybe not. He's got a weird looking face. But Ninjago has a lot of enemies too, not just the good guys. So yeah, his face is kind of strange looking. Here's another guy with a shark suit top and strange looking legs and torso. The legs and torso color don't match, but maybe they go together. And dark bluish gray air tanks. I keep wondering, where's our dark bluish gray spaceman? We got the air tanks already. All right, here's another. All right, probably an Ninjago villain, but who knows? Got these big eyes. Kai or Jitsu. All right. So this particular lot has a lot of Ninjago. And look, here's another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. He's got one complete arm and one missing arm. So, but arms are probably relatively easy to come by. Yeah, here we go. Here's a fireman with a saw. Gonna cut you out of the car after the accident. All right. Well, this one is kind of interesting. This is interesting because they have a shield that I don't know if it's actually a Lego or not. So before I show it, I'm going to check the torso for Lego-ness. Not that that's an indicator of anything, but the torso is in fact Lego. And so we'll show the rest of the whole thing. Whoops. So he's got this big halberd and this weird circular shield with some nice printing. I think I've seen that shield before, and I didn't think it was Lego. So yeah, not sure on this one. The torso, at least, is actually Lego because it says so on it. But I'm not sure about the rest of it. Yeah, I'd need to go look at the shield with like a magnifying glass more to see if it says Lego on the handle of it somewhere, but I didn't see it quickly. This guy looks like he's got an attitude. Boy, he's got a grumpy looking face. I'd probably be grumpy if I had that face too. Dark red shield. I think so. Yeah, the shield itself is dark red, but the printing is like, it's got like a forest green or a dark green with like a gold pattern. All right, come on. There's got to be some more figures. So we got 3 of the yellow micro guys from some game. Here is a very castle-looking guy. Just the shield on that price? I'm kind of curious what it's from, too. Here is a definite Ninjago figure. I don't even have to ask. I know he's a Ninjago guy because he's got the full face covering kind of thing. Here's another Ninjago guy. More sold than is available. That must mean it's pretty desirable then. He kind of looks like a construction worker, but then he's got like this green shirt. Nope, we got a crook. He was caught, but he's got his backpack on. He's going to go somewhere. Another relatively simple minifigure here. Lord of the Rings. All right. That is pretty cool. This figure is kind of interesting. She's got like purple lipstick. I realize you're not going to be able to see it, but she's got purple lipstick. That's different. Another one of these like robotish looking guys, which I postulated might be Ultron versions or something. I don't know. Season 6 Lloyd and Kimono Cole. All right. I have a feeling all those name variants for all the Ninjago guys are going to drive me batty. But it is what it is. Okay, so, this figure is wrong because it's got the air tanks going forward instead of backward, and they aren't because the arms are going the wrong direction. So let's fix this before I show it to you. Performing surgery on a figure here. Yeah, I guess that does go like that. Let's get his legs going the right direction. There we go. Oh, thank you. I live in the Rochester, New York area. Ultra agents from a quick glance. Oh, okay. FS though, I have no idea what FS is. So this is the guy I just fixed. Basically, the head and the feet were on backwards to the torso, so I just fixed him. Oh wow! All right, this is kind of weird. The guy's got a torso that's like a suit. He's got a tie, no leg printing, but man, that's like a robot face if I ever saw one. Silver and all that. Whoop! I just dropped him. Get this silver robot-looking face. I mean, maybe the head doesn't really. Oh, for sure. Okay, yeah. So that's kind of cool. Another fireman got an axe, but it's pointing in the wrong direction. He's going to hurt himself like that. He's going to fall down and cut his face. Here's a crook who's got like a coat on. He's thinking that the coat's going to keep people from realizing he's a crook. I don't know. All right, so this is, it looks like a painter, but they're carrying a cookie. There's like paint splotches on the front and back of the torso and on the front of the legs. So it looks like somebody who's like, you know, a professional painter and got all paint all over their clothes. Oh, all right. This looks like it could be one of the Paradisa figures, maybe? I don't know. These multicolored stars on the front and back of the torso. It's just a very simplistic face print, although not as simple as just the standard smiley face. Here's another guy, just dark sunglasses and a printed torso. All right, so here's another castle slash knight slash whatever looking guy. He's got printed legs. I'm pretty sure the torso is printed, but he's got armor on and a helmet. He's kind of cool looking, but very difficult to see. I mean, I've got this extra light on. I wonder if it would help if I turn this off. We'll try that for a figure or two. Let me know if it helps at all. This one is very simplistic looking. So, you know, I think that it's probably not helping, but I might be wrong. Let's see, 15 seasons, around 25 variations. Don't quote me on that. For Ninjago, yeah. Oh, well, thanks. You know, people will find me when they find me. I'm not going to bemoan it. I will say this. I went up like when I did the video recently, if you haven't seen it, I did a video. It's like 8 or 9 minutes long, and it's talking about the pirate treasure polybag that you can get currently at Lego, unless they're sold out. And since I posted that, I think I've picked up like 3 or 4 subscribers, maybe even a couple more than that. And I'm up to 574 last I knew. So it's getting up there. I mean, and the nice thing is too, is like a lot of times I have noticed just through normal growth, like I'll get like 2 or 3 and then I'll drop 1 or 2. I have a feeling, and I don't say it's wrong, but people will subscribe to a channel as they see something that interests them, and then when they've got more time, they'll go back and look at other stuff and say, oh yeah, I'm interested in following this, or like, yeah, it's not my taste, and then they unsubscribe, and that's fine. Pretty sure this is Emmett, by the way. But yeah, there's different ways of doing things like that. Whoa, all right. Here's a shirtless dude with dark red hair. All right. I don't know who he is. I'd say this almost looks like it could be a train conductor to me. Oh, another one of these guys. That's pretty cool. I didn't toss them back in the wrong place, did I? Maybe I did, because I don't see him in here. Huh. There's that one. Remember that one. Yeah, likely this is the same one I already showed, but I'll show them again anyway. The armor and the legs and stuff. Well, I actually did do a fairly lengthy video. It's like 45 minutes long, where I do tours of the rooms that I was using for storage for the sealed Lego sets. Now, one of those rooms is almost empty, and the sets have been moved to the basement. And there's been some basement update videos that show that. I have not recorded new video of the bedrooms yet. The 2 that I haven't started to clear out yet, they're even fuller than they were before. And the one that I have been clearing out, there's not a lot to see in there at the moment. I mean, there's some sets on the floor and stuff like that, and there's one shelf left in there. But once I get that room cleared out, maybe I'll do a quick video saying, hey, look, here's the room. It looks the same except for the fact there's nothing in it. But yeah, the basement updates at this point are probably the best way to see things. I don't go through and really highlight the sets. It's kind of more like, here's where they're on shelves, and I don't get too terribly close. It's just too much to go through. My goal is Bricklink store, but because I've been buying for so long, case in point, these 2 lots that I'm currently going through were bought over a year ago, 16 months ago, and I hadn't even opened them yet. But the goal was always Bricklink store, and so I was buying sets that I thought were a good part out value or whatever reason. And it's at the point now that I've been buying for so long that some of the sets might be worth more to hold on to whole copy, or at least very comparable. And so I have to go through and decide, am I going to try to sell this whole copy, or do I go ahead and part it out? So there's a lot of stuff that has to go in for that. You start to sell it all, and how do you finance all this buying? I do watch other Lego channels as well. So I'm really hoping to get enough going that I could open the store, at least in a limited fashion, at the beginning of September. But it could be malleable a little bit. And as far as financing the buying, so about 3 years ago, my uncle passed away and left my brother and I some money. And then my brother ended up passing away like 3 months later unexpectedly. My uncle had no other family, and my brother had no other family, so I ended up inheriting the full sum. So that's kind of where that money is coming from. So it's not like the best source in the world. I would much rather have them still with me, but I kind of make do with what I can. And I probably in some ways the Lego buying is therapeutic for me, and it keeps me busy, keeps my mind occupied, that kind of thing. As far as other Lego channels I watch, I did mention earlier, JB's Brick Kiln was in here. I watch his stuff. I watch David West's stuff. I watch all of Bricksar's stuff, although I don't generally watch his other channels, like Trains Are Fun. I'm not a big train person, although I do know he does some stuff with Lego trains. A lot of times that stuff shows up on his Lego channel as well, or or otherwise I'm missing some stuff. And then let's see, a whole bunch of other people that I watch sporadically. Oh, and I like the weekly questions from M&R Productions. I just find it interesting to see what kind of questions people are asking. I've watched a number of. I mean, there's some people I don't watch as well. I watch some of the Bricksy stuff, but not a lot. I tend to gravitate towards content that is like 25, 30 minutes or less. And a lot of his stuff ends up being like 35, 40 minutes to an hour or more, especially the stuff that was live stream. He does a lot of live stream too. Because I mean, I've been on for over an hour at this point, and I certainly understand it takes a different sort to want to go back and watch a live stream after it's happened. And I have done that a few times with some things, but not a lot. But there's a whole bunch of other Lego people that I watch sporadically. But there are even a few that I won't name that I don't watch. Like I make a conscious decision not to watch. But yeah, that's, I almost always will. I know when I watch through YouTube, they will often suggest things that I haven't seen before. So if the topic is somewhat interesting, and I forgot, Just Too Good. Just Too Good, I am a channel supporter, as well as Bricksar, his recent channel support. I support both of them, so I watch his stuff as well. But as I was saying, YouTube will often throw something at me that I've never seen before, and sometimes it's stuff that's like, oh, it's been out for 3 weeks and it's got 200 views, so it's smaller stuff like mine, and I will often give them a shot and see, like, do I like their personality or their content, what they're saying, can I understand them? There's been a few times where like the accent has been thick enough that I just can't. R Slugger. I don't think I've ever heard of that one. And then of course, occasionally I'll even get content suggested to me that's like, it's in German. I'm like, well, I took German in high school, but it's not enough to remember, not enough to understand anything they're saying. So I don't generally watch that stuff. This head is completely worn away practically, but it's one of the old smiley face heads, and he's got a flat stud top. So it's an old head, but it's in horrible shape. All right, 10 minutes, no problem. So Icy Flame, who is this RR Slugger? Lego content, I assume. Here's another guy with like a suit and tie kind of idea. A lot of suit and tie kind of ideas going on. And a lot of construction worker looking dudes. Rock Raiders videos. I've seen someone that did some Rock Raiders stuff. I mean, it's a little odd of a theme to completely concentrate on because it's no longer produced, but they had some really great sets and pieces. I really like the monsters from that stuff. And I know I saw, maybe it was him. There was somebody who was discussing the colors, like the trans orange has different types of trans orange. Got with low stream and cute food. Well, thank you. Thank you for stopping in. Yeah, so maybe I have seen his stuff. I'll have to remember to kind of keep an eye out for it. Just another simple mini doll. Oh, well, that's different. It's Santa Claus with a guitar. Another construction guy, but well, maybe not. This might be for a Star Wars set. Maybe he's an X-Wing pilot. Maybe that's Poe Dameron. I don't know. He's got a bit of a beard. All right. This guy looks to me, yeah, this has got to be Tony Stark / an Iron Man figure because he's got the little arc reactor on his chest, and the face printing to me just looks like Tony Stark. Interesting enough, we just watched Iron Man 3 again last night. Another dog. Another construction worker kind of guy. Oh, I see a white cape. We're going to pull that one next. Just a simple character figure there. What do we got here? All right. All right, so female got a pendant and what looks like maybe a vest or something on, and then this white cape. It is a two-sided head print as well. That's an interesting looking figure. That's I wonder if it's one of the Batman ones or something like that. One of the Batman villains or something. Definitely a different figure. Here is a Wild Style in the construction hat. I'm pretty sure that's Wild Style. Maybe not. A motorcycle, which I guess is a minifigure accessory. Oh, lagging by a minute. That kind of sucks. Is it better now? Huh. Yeah, I know I've heard that. By the way, nobody did mention whether or not having the light off was better than having it on. So I'm going to leave it off until I hear otherwise. Here's another dude. Strange hair coming down the sides. I'm thinking he probably had a hair piece on that kind of hair kind of went with. Oh, we got a horse, of course. Pretty sure it's Wi-Fi. Yeah, I had mentioned early on, it might have even been in the first stream, that I've been considering getting some Cat 6 cable and running it directly to the cable modem when I do streaming. So that might be something that'll happen as well. Here's another firefighter guy. He's got like his little fire extinguisher and his helmet and his air tanks. Another police guy. I will say that there is not a lot of special figures in this lot. I mean, there's been some Star Wars stuff and things like that, but generally speaking, there hasn't been a lot of things like that. So this figure, I wonder if he's supposed to. Oh, I see. All right, they've got it on wrong. Can I fix it? That's probably the easiest fix right there. All right, this is kind of amusing at least. A farmer guy with a lawnmower build. So that's kind of cool. A little tiny lawnmower build. I like when I see stuff like that. You even got back printing for the suspenders. So yeah, that's kind of cool. All right, come on. Oh, here's another full figure. He looks like, I don't know. He looks like some guy with dark bluish gray air tanks and the fish. Because, you know, you need dark bluish gray air tanks to go fishing, I guess. Another horse. This one's black. All right. This looks like, maybe this is Lord Business. I don't know. He's got a more angry face on the back. Oh, the cute little sheep. Meh. Or wait a minute, is that a sheep? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a sheep with the bumps on the back there. Farmer girl. Got their overalls or whatever, their suspenders. I mean, there's definitely some interesting looking non-full pieces. Like here's a guy, it's just a police guy with, he's got a beard and a mustache. I'm a police guy. Hi. There's definitely interesting things if I start looking at individual pieces, but right now I'm just looking at full figures. you know, with or without hair or hat, and with or without accessories. Plus, as long as they've got a torso, they don't have to have hands or arms. And that's what I'm pulling out right now. This guy, he's got a couple of pistols, quite an elaborate printing on legs and torso. He's got a mustache, but I got to get it so it's in the right spot. And like a little armor around his shoulders. He's kind of a cool looking guy. I mean, does it really make sense? Does he go together? Maybe not, but somebody put him together. He's kind of cool. Has anyone checked out the Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation videos yet? I've watched a few shorts and it looks great. I'm probably going to wait until Andor comes out. Push back to September 21st. Flintlock Ninjago. Cool. No, I have not watched the Star Wars Summer Vacation videos yet, but I will 100%. And I am so much hoping in some version of reality we get a Weird Al Yankovic minifigure. That would kick butt because he sings the theme song for it. Yeah. So I'm kind of hopeful for that. No. A clown, a little short-legged clown with a pie. He's going to throw the pie. Whoa. Throw the pie at you. That's kind of cool. Another shark guy with some armor and a blue fish. That's at least the third shark helmed type guy I found. Somebody cosplaying a little too in reality as Luke Skywalker after he had his hand cut off, maybe? I don't know. Here's a black suit type police guy, it looks like. Another farmer dude. He's got the plain smiling face, and it's actually a pretty good print for a smiley face, but it is not the old one. It's got the vented head, so it's not the old head, which was a solid stud. A pug, I believe. What else? Is this complete? I mean, look. Nope, he's not complete. Can't show him. All right, so all right, another mini doll. Might be one of the elves because she's got this weird, like, dragon-looking print on her shirt. So yeah, he might be from one of the elves sets. She also had purple lipstick, so who knows? This guy's got a pompadour for his hairpiece. That's probably not a word you expect to hear often in a Lego stream, pompadour. Here is a Harry Potter figure, pretty sure, but simple face for the most part. Could be almost anybody, probably. Here's a white Ninjago figure. Here is the little 3 minifigures. So there's 4 different colors. So I've got 3 each of these little mini micro dolls or whatever they call them. The game piece ones. Oh, look. A little panda. That's kind of cool. And we're getting down to the end of the actual built figures and stuff. Here's somebody with air tanks. She's ready to go dive in or something like that. All right. Is there any more full figures? Gotta have. Oh, here's one. All right. So this is one. I guarantee it's not correct. So you've got black legs, a scary face, and a Stormtrooper torso. So yeah, unless he was putting his armor on, got surprised somehow, and he still had his black like underleggings on or something. I suppose you could write that story. All right. Oh, here's a couple more full figures, I think. Well, one. I wonder if this is another Rock Raiders person. Very much glinty there on parts of that. Oh, another little short figure. He also has the simple smiley face, but he also has the vented head, so he's not the old head. And here's another guy. A lot of them are in sitting positions, so it doesn't look like they're a full figure at first. Opening them up from sitting positions. Not really sure what he is, but there he is. He's got some leg printing too, which is kind of cool. And here's another one. Again, very simple. He's got the old smile, vented head. Just a simple torso there with the white legs. All right, so this might be a Star Wars figure. It's probably somebody simple like a pilot or something like that. I don't think it's anybody particularly named, but he's got some like black printing and he's got like a little mouth talking headset type piece. Oh, wife got really ugly. Checked the weather earlier and there was a high chance of storming around this time. Oh, there you go. That'll do it. We had some bad rain yesterday. Another dog. Yeah, we had some bad rain yesterday, and actually, I was out while it was raining, and I got home right at the tail end of it. Star Wars Imperial Gunner, very cool. Yes, the standard green heads, they just remind me of old school times. I mean, I started with those guys. But yeah, I was out when it was raining. I got home just after it ended, and when I got into the house, there was this giant pool of water in the backyard where there normally was a pool of water before they did all the work. No water in the basement. However, within 45 minutes to an hour, that pool of water had completely dissipated and drained away. And when I did look, the pipe in near the front of the yard was just gushing water out. So the system works. I'm very happy about that. I still have water that was coming down my driveway, and I think at some point I will pay closer attention to that end of the backyard to see if I need to, because I think I mentioned one of the videos that they had the one drain up by the tree, but they were recommending that I put rock in all the way to the surface, and I instead went with a layer of dirt. And I may have to revisit that. Another guy with a single tank breather. But I was happy to see all the water had gone away from when it was piled in the back. Yeah, I'm very glad to hear that too. It's a Steve without the Steve head and missing a hand. So even Steve is a fan of Star Wars and is trying to cosplay as Luke Skywalker. Here's another, just a simple guy. I mean, while it's exciting to get the minifigure lot, looking at the built figures, nothing really spectacular has come out. This is an interesting one. This might be from one of the minifigure lines. It's it looks like a football player. Number 12, he's got the padding on, and it looks like his helmet's more of a football helmet looking thing. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about that guy. Probably one of the CMS. Yet another crook. I guess they're always running around the construction sites with all the construction guys. I don't know. All right. Oh, here's another one that's complete. I'm probably still find a whole bunch of these. There's that one. Different. Oh, here's another. I see two more now. All right. So now here, this has got to be special in some ways. Do you have two faces? Let me see. Yeah, there are two faces, but we're just going to show the one. But yeah, he's got like some sort of a weird visor thing going on. But like a regular flesh tone head otherwise. I don't know. Some guy. And this guy, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's a pirate or a crook who had to make a phone call. I don't know. I'm pretty sure most of these accessories aren't really the ones that are supposed to be. There's another dog. Looks like a German Shepherd. This is another Jester. And we'll show the back of the head. He's got a different smiling, frowny face on the back. Here's another guy. Another Stormtrooper torso with the head. He's got like the headset on his head, and then these like dark brown legs. Or maybe they're black. I can't quite tell. They're printed actually. They're dark brown, but with some black printing on the front. Just simple like splotches of black on the line. All right. Any more full figures with head and torso? There's one. There's a genuine police officer. Yeah, right there. You got him. We're up to 4 people again. They come, they go. Sometimes they're quiet, sometimes they're not. Just a little kid. Simple blue torso, short legs. He's smiling. Got some freckles. One face on the head. Simple. All right. Oh, another mini doll. I think this might be one of the guys. I'm not sure. It looks like he's just got the swim trunks on and no shirt. I don't know. All right. Another pass just to make sure that's it for the figures with all the parts connected currently. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here otherwise, but that's what I was concentrating on for the time being. Oh, we got another seal. Yeah, so that's it. So now I'm not going to show everything else that's in here, but I'm just going to cherry pick some stuff. A mini zombie from Minecraft? Is that a thing? Like a zombie baby, maybe? I'd never heard of such a thing. But it looks like Lego. It's just small. Maybe. Where it is? Okay, this is Captain Jack Sparrow, I believe. His head and hair. That's kind of cool. An Iron Man body with no head or hands. So I guess, you know, just the electronic bits. What else is in here that looks interesting? Another elf hair. Got the little ears sticking out, and then the bottom of the hair is blue. That's kind of cool. Oh, I missed one. Here's another full figure. Well, how about that? Just a simple guy, though. Looks like a park ranger, maybe. Let's see. Anything else worth mentioning? Who knows? There probably is, but will I recognize it as something worth mentioning? Maybe not. I think I saw part of a turtle over here. Oh, wait a minute. Here's a Gungan head. He's got purple on it. I don't think that's Jar Jar, though. It's a different Gungan. Okay. Let's see. I mean, a lot of the torsos kind of look interesting, but I don't recognize them per se from anything else. So who knows what they really are. This looks like it might be a Star Wars character, but no head. Got some sand green hands and some sand green on the legs, the white legs. I don't know. Oh, I didn't see this before. It's one of those little baby dragons in like a dark green. Let's see. Oh, there's a man. I don't think it's dual molded, but it might be. It's like a spider with like these reddish legs and yeah. All right, different. Looks like a Stormtrooper torso. Oh, okay. Jester hat to go with the Jester that didn't have a hat. Another Jester hat. I think it's different from the other one I just tossed in. Can I find the other one quickly? Apparently not. I just tossed it in and it's like bounced. Oh, there it is. So we have 2 different Jester hats here. Blue and red and white and red. That's kind of different. Same mold though. Pretty cool. I definitely like it when they reuse a mold, especially if they can do it in a unique way. There's an interesting sword. Trans blue with some dark blue or light bluish gray in there. It's soft. The tip is very soft, as are the edges or the guards. All right, so here's one of the. Let me get a head. See if I can. Or torso. All right, so this is one of the Trooper helmets. I don't know what type it is, but there it is. You can also put the markings on it. I'm sure some Star Wars person out there can tell me exactly what this is immediately, but I can't. Another, I believe this is a clone one though. Going to head out. My Wi-Fi doesn't seem to want me on anyways. I'll watch the rest later. Thank you. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, I appreciate it. Trying to stick it out. Hopefully when you watch it later, it's at least somewhat entertaining. Oh, what's this? A little bird. That's a cute little bird. Tweet, tweet. It's a bluebird. Is it a bluebird of friendliness? And do you get the reference? Let's see. This might be it. I don't know. Oh, wait. We've got a standard Stormtrooper helmet. Another but different standard Stormtrooper helmet. They look different, aren't they? Yeah, they are different slightly. This one here has some blue on it. This is another Stormtrooper helmet, or not a Storm, another, I think it's a Rebel pilot helmet. Yup, I would imagine original and newer movies. Hello, Ange. Another just standard piece. That happens a little bit. Oh, there's an interesting piece. There's an old shield, one of the regular shields with like this dragon logo on it. There's only been like 12 different kingdoms and castle and knights sets, so who knows? I mean, it's easy enough to look up. I just don't know off the top of my head. A Captain America shield right there. So the Captain America shield seems to be the same mold as that shield from the Lord of the Rings. So that's a good thing to know. Oh, well, I had posted one and then the stream died. And so I deleted that and then posted what I thought was this one. Maybe I didn't do it right. Wouldn't be the first thing I didn't do right, that's for sure. That's an interesting looking helmet piece. This also looks like maybe it's some sort of a Rebel pilot helmet or something. It's not a separate piece, that sand green. It seems to be molded into one piece. I couldn't move it. So that's kind of interesting. Oh, well, there you go. I'm not sure there's anything else in here that's really particularly spectacular to look at. Oh, this is an interesting helmet too. Looks very Eastern influenced. TA-17, hello. Do I know who TA-17 is? Because I don't recognize TA-17. But, you know, people can have different names in different places. Shredder. Trevor from Lego. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, for those people who have just joined or have joined more recently, when I sat down to do the live stream, I had a number of boxes around me, and you see some back here, and there's some off camera over here. And I just picked up one of the smaller ones randomly, and I couldn't tell from the outside of the box when it came to me, and I didn't know. It was stuff that I had cleared out from the entry area recently, yesterday. But then it had the packing slip in it, and I looked at it, and the first thing I noticed that I paid for it on April 2nd of 2021, which means after shipping and whatnot, it's probably been sitting here for 16 months. Then I noticed that it's 2 lots. They're both minifigure lots, and they were both 2.4 pounds. So it was almost 5 pounds of minifigure stuff that I paid $588 for. So I paid like $118 a pound or something like that, which is, by going rate online at Shop Goodwill, a really good price. I think most of the minifigure lots I've been seeing have been going for closer to $2.50 to $3 a pound, I think. So this is just one of the bags. So this box, this tote here, is all the, well, not at this point, but it started as being mostly just all the whole figure and animal figures. I have tossed in a few helmets and heads and things that were interesting. But then the rest of this bag, which isn't all that big, but the rest of this bag is all loose heads and torsos and legs and accessories and things like that. A few of them I have, like, you know, this one has like legs and torso, just no head. It's kind of this nice gleaming silver. It's something. It probably goes together, but I have no idea what. Although the torso color and the leg color is a little different, but it's close enough to make me think that it could have been intended to go together. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to take a lot of time to go through the rest of this stuff, because I'm not seeing stuff that really looks to me like it's like important or interesting. I mean, some of it's just kind of simply interesting, and it's always nice to see, oh, look, I got this. But more often than not, it's not particularly great. Well, this is a really weird, it's like a hairpiece with some sort of like a visor / breathing apparatus attached to the front. Just popped in to say hello and give you some support. Well, thanks, Andrew. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on anyway. Although there's been an influx of people the last few minutes, so maybe I'll stick around. I mean, are people here that are going to be here for a little while? I mean, because I have the second bag that was the same weight as this one that I could open up and start looking through as well. But if people are, because we were down to like one person at one point, and I was almost thinking about calling it, and then somebody popped in, but now we're up to 4. So I just don't know what people are thinking. I mean, I don't have plans until 7. I'm sure Andrew's glad to hear that, since she's one of the people I'm gaming with. Tonight at 7, online, right here. Same desk, same time. Well, not the same time. And I don't drink coffee, but this is a hot chocolate. And they make a pretty good hot chocolate. Although I have found that I think they have a hot chocolate machine they use at Dunkin' Donuts, and I think I've heard them say like they need to clean it, or they see it, they've just cleaned it. And in listening to those conversations over the times I've been there, I think I prefer the hot chocolate from the machine before it's been cleaned. It tastes thicker, I think, and I like it. So there you go. Well, I'm not seeing any reply. There are still theoretically 4 people here. So do I get the second bag and start going through that, or do I save it for another stream? I'm a little surprised. I mean, at one point when I first started the first stream, before I had some problems, I had up to 7 people in here, briefly. Probably just popping in from seeing it pop up on YouTube or something like that. Just sorting and listening to you. Aloha from Hawaii. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Kaliko Morris? Kaliko. Yeah, I think that's Kaliko Morris. That's almost like Kaliko, the video game system from like the early 80s. I know somebody that lives in Hawaii, not on the island of Hawaii, but I think they're, gosh, I don't know which island they're on, but I know it's not the big one, Hawaii. It's one of the smaller ones. Ange might know if she's still here. She might remember which island, but I don't remember off the top of my head. There's like 7 islands. I don't know. So you say you're sorting. Are you sorting Lego or something else? I'm gonna guess Lego because if you're here, one of the small. Yeah, I know. I can't remember either. I guess I could pull up a map and see which one sounds familiar. I guess I'm curious about how it is running a Bricklink store. A brick and mortar store in Oahu. That is awesome. Okay, well, that's a whole different ball of wax. Because I was wondering how running a Bricklink store out of Hawaii might be. I do know there was somebody, and actually, somebody asked earlier about YouTube channels I watch. I haven't seen anything new in a while, but Leaf Hunter, who lives in Alaska, I was watching his stuff. That was pretty interesting. Should have plenty of other things to do. Yeah, but you know, this was kind of going to be a relaxed day for me anyway. But a brick and mortar store, that is really cool. How did you find my stream? I'm kind of curious. Did you just find it on YouTube, or are you familiar with the Just a Brick in a Bucket guys? And did you see it there? Bricklink too. Yeah, I'm very interested to know how that works for you there, because it would seem like shipping would be a problem. I know that when I see when I see Lego stuff from the Goodwill in Hawaii, the shipping costs are just exorbitant, and I almost always just completely reject anything they list. Looks like the right island. Lanai sounds more familiar to me. I was going to think there was an L in it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you're familiar with that whole thing. Well, thank you. I appreciate the watching. But yeah, so we're down to 2 people. I think I'll hang out for a little while. Shipping to Germany's a real pain now. Too much red tape. Yeah, I haven't. I know that starting off, I'm not going to ship internationally. When I finally do open, I'm just going to start domestically, and I'm also not going to do Brick Owl initially. You know, it's just too much to try to do all at once. I mean, I'm trying to do something that hasn't been done before, as far as I can see in the Bricklink community. I'm trying to go from 0 to 60 as quickly as possible. I mean, most stores that I've watched and they've talked about things, and I've watched like when they've been expanding, you know, they'll start with 1 to 4, maybe even 6 of the Acro Mills drawer units, and they'll work on filling those up, and then they'll order more, and then they'll so on and so forth. And you know, I'm starting with 160 of them already set up, and I probably have 80 more that I could set up if I need space, and you know, have the carpenter build another floating unit there. And you know, I'm sorting in bulk, and I'm scaling up towards what David West is doing, and that's kind of like my thought. Like when I realized that, you know, sorting, you know, 1 small container and then uploading it would be X amount of work, but if you did 2 of those small containers, the uploading is just a little bit more work. You just vastly expand your efficiency the more you have sorted at once to then do the following sorts on. And so I'm looking at trying to get to like a 1 18-gallon tote or more of each category before I turn around and then subsort and then list. So yeah, that's much like what David West is doing, and it's like it's taken him 2 years to get to this point. I also think he's expanded a lot quicker than a lot of people have, and I'm astounded by his ability to do that. It's great, and it's inspirational to me, and it pushes me a little bit. So yeah, I don't think that what I'm doing has been done by many, if any, people. Yeah, it takes a long time. It does take a long time to arrive. Although I'll tell you, those people at Zavvi, they have figured it out. I guess they're based in the UK somewhere, and there's been times where I've ordered stuff and I have it on my doorstep like 3 or 4 days later. It's crazy. Now, granted, I live in New York, so coming from the UK, it's just got to cross the pond, as it were, and then make its way from New York City up to where I live. So I mean, which is not like a suburb of New York City. I'm in Western New York, but you know, the Rochester area. You could look it up on a map. It's probably like a 6 to 8 hour drive to New York City. We're actually closer driving time and distance to Toronto, as far as like a large metropolitan spot. But yeah, they have really figured it out. Store credit first. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, 4 hours to Toronto, 6 to New York City, and on top of that too is I think the 6 hours to New York City can be deceiving, because then you're in New York City, and driving New York City I think is in general more difficult driving than in Toronto. So once you get to the city, your destination could be a little bit further away, just in time wise, because of traffic type issues in the city. And like I've driven in the Toronto area. I have not physically driven in the New York area, and I really have no desire to. So, but yeah, that's a really cool idea. Store credit for sorting. I should probably think about that. That's not a bad idea. So far, I've only been, a friend of mine's got a couple of kids that I've been having help me move some stuff around. I haven't really officially done any kind of employees or anything like that. And I'm having a little difficulty getting a hold of a couple other people, and there's other extenuating circumstances, but I do plan on having paid help. But yeah, I'm just not exactly sure, 100% sure when that'll kick in. But I now have a table in the basement that's clear. So this coming week, I'm going to start dabbling with actually pulling some drawers and putting some parts away that I've already parted out from sets. Because like 2 years ago, or a year and a half at least, when I started doing this thing, or not even when I started, but getting closer, or I thought was closer, excuse me, before the water issue, I started pulling a couple of sets or smaller sets that I had a few of, that I was like, okay, let me part this out, because I wanted to make sure that the process of parting out a set didn't drive me crazy. Because you could totally hate parting out a set and still totally love sorting used Lego and listing it, and then you could just be a used sort and I'd be fine. But it didn't bother me, you know, sorting out the parting out the new sets did not bother me. So that's definitely going to be part of the thing. And then of course, a lot of times, not in this particular Lego bulk, but sometimes you'll buy a bulk Lego online or even locally, and you'll find sealed bags from Lego in the bulk. And I'm like, did little Bobby decide that he didn't need these pieces to build the set? It's kind of confuses me sometimes, especially the larger the bag. A really small bag with just like little, almost like doodad pieces that you put on like the headlights to a car. Like if you already built the car and you don't want to play with it, just go play with it. You know, I have no problem with that. It's great. But then you find these random small bags of parts that have never been opened. So, you know, I consider those new parts. So I've basically been tossing them in a couple of different boxes. I probably have 3 different boxes of just bags of new parts. So those will be interesting to go through. I think what I'm going to try to do there is get some Post-it pads and try to identify the sets. Now, the larger the bag, the easier it is it's going to be to identify the set. And I do know that Brickstore has an amazing tool for that. So it'll wait until I'm using Brickstore to do that. But yeah, I think what I will start trying to identify the parts, because then it's easier to add the parts into inventory. You know, they came from this set. You can kind of just go down a list of like, you know, 120 parts instead of like, you know, 88,000 or however many there are in Bricklink to try to find the right pieces. So, well, really, a couple of times I've like picked up a sealed bag and torn it open, and I was just like, depending upon the situation at the time, like I think one time I actually taped it closed because I knew I opened it and it was a mistake. And you're like, okay, it's still new. It just, I happened to open it by accident. I'm going to open it to part it out anyway. And then other times I'm just like, I don't have the wherewithal for this, and just dump it in with the used. Yeah, 200,000 on Bricklink. That's a very respectable number. Yeah, I mean, for anybody who's here who's ever looked into this or has any thoughts, what is your thoughts on how many pieces per pound of Lego. Just your average, like you scoop up some random bulk and you weigh out a pound. How many pieces are there? Because I know the research I've done, which is both a little bit of counting and weighing, but more just internet research, it seems to be 400 to 700 is what most people say. And clearly, you know, if you have a base plate or something like that, most people aren't going to count that because it's, you know, you go, oh, I'm just going to scoop some random pieces in the scoop and weigh out a pound. Well, like you're not going to scoop up a base plate, generally speaking. So I would say probably excluding base plates, 600, yeah, that 400 to 700 is right in there. But I mean, even at 500 and using a weight for the totes that I have downstairs that I think is correct, I probably am north of 4 million parts used in backlog, which is probably a little insane. Okay, maybe a lot insane before Ange comes in and says, corrects me in the insane level. But it depends on where in the box you get for smaller pieces. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. It's hard to know because yeah, the larger pieces are going to stay at the top and they are larger, but I mean, you still need a pound of them, but a larger piece in itself weighs more than a smaller piece, and it's only one piece. So yes, absolutely. Yep, a lot of work. And then of course there's all the new sets that I have to part out and or decide to keep as whole copy investment. I mean, there's a few sets that I've got enough of that I could probably part out a good chunk of them and still have a good number for whole set saving. Like some of the Speed Champion sets I have, I've got like one in particular. I was watching at a Walmart last year. They had like 70 of them when I first saw it, and they were priced at $750, which was half price. They were the 6 stud wide ones, one of those. And I bought some at that point, but I didn't want to drop enough money to buy all 70 of them at once. But I kept going back to that Walmart like once a week at least, if not twice a week, and I'd count them. And they were selling like 3 to 7 a week. So the number kept going down and kept going down and kept going down. And they never reduced the price. And I went there and they had, I think like 40 or 45 left. And I'm like, okay, I'm pulling the trigger. And I bought the rest they had at that point. And so I think I have 55 to 60 of that particular set. And some of the boxes are really mangled. So those are clearly destined for part out. I'll probably build one too if I haven't already. I have to double check. But yeah, I mean, I could easily part out a whole bunch and still have a whole bunch for sealed set saving. Yeah, but again, a low estimate. But then again, I don't know. It's that pieces per pound is really a part of it. I think also I was using 50 pounds for the totes, and I think the totes actually probably are more like 45 to 48, but 50 is an easier number to work with, especially if you're just doing it in your head. But I haven't gotten a good count of the totes in a long time because I know more have come downstairs since I did a count. And I know there's more loose Lego up here that needs to go down. Like, I mean, you know, the boxes behind me here that you can see, this is loose Lego. There's also a pile over here. Let me turn the camera. There's a pile there. And there's actually another box over on the floor over here, which has a caution heavy sticker on the side of it. Those all need to go down. And then there's all the boxes that were down there that haven't been opened yet that I just arranged them. They're all visible from one angle. There's nothing buried. There's nothing in front of another box. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'll do a live stream down there and basically like, okay, you know, there's different columns and like pick a column and I'll open up the top box on the column. I considered lettering them all, but I'm like, then some smart Alex is going to be like, oh, open that bottom one. I'm like, I have to move all these other boxes to get to that bottom one. So I'm not sure I want to do that. So yeah, I'm thinking I'll do a live stream from the basement at some point and then do the which box do I open kind of thing. I thought that would be kind of fun. So, yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, a lot of times in the evening, I'll be winding down and I'll sit down at my sort station up here and I'll sort for a while. It's nice because I can actually see the TV. So if she's watching something, you know, I can watch it with her. We've been watching a TV show called Grace and Frankie, which is pretty funny. I'm enjoying that a lot. I think we're in the last season now, though. And I think she sometimes watches episodes without me, so sometimes I'm not up to date on 100% what's going on, but I do enjoy the show. And I'm probably 2 or 3 Marvel shows behind, and that's not including the shows the older ones that were on network TV. Got to go back and catch up on those at some point. And there's a never-ending list of things that I should or want to see. Like, people who know me well, and Andrew's one of those people, she's still here. She wouldn't be surprised, but some might be surprised. Like, I've never seen Stranger Things. I don't think I've seen the Hobbit movies. I think I saw the Lord of the Rings movies. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that, I probably should see that I just haven't yet. But yeah, when I did the count in the basement at one point, there was 256 totes down there. And I know I've added some. So I'm probably pushing 300 totes down there at this point. And that doesn't even include the skid. I bought a skid from somebody on the Just a Brick in a Bucket Discord. That got shipped to me probably over a year ago. I've never opened it. It's still in its shrink. The only thing I did is I pulled the paperwork out from underneath the shrink to look at it, because when I bought it, it was per pound plus shipping. And I paid $4 a pound for 500 pounds plus shipping. But the shipping company has a weight listed of like 700 pounds. So I paid for 500 pounds and I got 700. Now, the 700 is going to be inclusive of the box, because it's a skid box, I believe. There may be smaller boxes inside, and also the skid itself is also in that weight. But that's not going to be 200 pounds. So I definitely got more Lego than I quote had paid for. I mean, it was just a skid, and so I'm very thankful for that. I'm not. I guess I'm retired. I haven't officially retired. I don't do anything for work. This would be my job. I am financially stable enough that I do not need to worry about that at this point. So the Bricklink is more just of a hobby, although I'm trying not to dip into investment money too much. So I've had some things pop up recently that have caused me to have to do that, and there's some other things coming up that I'm planning on doing that I will be doing that again for. But I want to just get Bricklink to sustain me, so that'll be like my spending money, and then just let the investment money build up and whatnot. But yeah. And yeah, if Ange is in the chat now, she is exempt from this. But I'm curious, how old do people think I am? She knows, mainly because she's only 2 weeks older than I am. But yeah, I'm just kind of curious how old people think I am. I mean, I could be retired, but I'm not. Yes, which would mean you're 2 weeks older than me. Yep. So yeah, kind of curious if anybody has any guesses. And guess low, guess high. I'm not going to be offended. 57. Okay. All right. I mean, I guarantee I'm not 75. There's a clue. I'm also not 25. Somewhere in that range, 25 to 75. Well, there's 4 people in the chat. 1 person exempt from answering, and 1 person has answered. There's 2 people still left out there. That beginning of the year, and I think you're around 60. Okay. Well, you quit your job, but you had, like, you were starting a business, the brick and mortar store, which I think is really awesome. Have you ever posted pictures of it on the Discord or anything like that? Because I'd be certainly curious. I mean, I don't think I'm likely to ever get to the islands anytime soon, if ever. But if I do, I'd be curious to get there. It'd be kind of fun. I wouldn't say I'm planning on it per se, but I would like to get down to Atlanta Brick Company. I think that's really cool. I I worked in book retail for about 20 years. And I don't really have any love for retail for that aspect. So I don't see myself doing like a standard retail shop. I do think what I would like to do. Oh, welcome back, JB. 63, another guess. I do think I would like to do like conventions, like either Lego conventions or just other like toy shows and stuff like that. I do have a friend who suggested I do like there's a local Comic Con here in the Rochester area, and he said when he went, there was some guy selling hot sauce. So it's not even comic book related, but they were local. Brick by brick. Okay, well I will have to. I don't have anything to. Ange, send me a text with Brick by Brick YouTube channel, and I will add that to something I want to check out. But yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't want to do retail in a normal sense, but I think doing conventions and other types of toy shows and things like that, I can definitely see myself doing. And 4 people, 1 exempt. We have 3 guesses. 63, 57, and around 60. And I'm happy to say that all 3 of you are over. I'm only 53. It's the beard, though. The beard really does it. Oh, that's fine. The store part is interesting to me, too. I know I've watched a couple of videos that people have done of like tours of like independent not bookstores, independent Lego stores. And those are kind of interesting, too. But yeah, I'll take a look at that. I don't know. Maybe. I used to be able to do that. I used to be able to like cover my entire beard with my hands, but I can't do it anymore. Maybe I look younger now. I don't know. Yeah, I did. People that were older than me were trying to get me to buy beer for them. I was like 16 in high school, and I had now my beard is longer now than it was in high school, but before I grew it out now, high school was probably the longest I ever had it. And because I generally didn't let it get too long. And yeah, I had somebody who was like, I think 17 or 18 approach me because I think it was they just changed the drink. No, because the drinking age shifted to 21. No, it was right before I could have drank, I think, because I don't think I was one of the people that got banned. Like, oh, I'm 18, I can drink now. And then they changed the drinking age to 21. Oh, now I can't. I mean, it's never really been a big deal for me anyway. I don't drink a lot. But yeah. Yeah, it does, and I'm streaking in some of the gray in the hair as well. The first thing that started to go was the sideburns. They were gray very first for me, and I thought it was kind of cool. I thought it made me look like Reed Richards. Welcome back, Be Kind All the Time. Did you hear about guessing how old I was, or my saying how old I was? Because if you didn't hear me say how old I was, you could guess. I already said, but yeah. It's kind of fun. I'm wondering if I keep the beard, which I don't know what my plan is 100%. But yeah, so the people are guessing 57, 63, 60. I am none of those ages, though. I am younger than that. I'm 53. But if I keep the beard, for a while going forward right now, I'm wondering sometime this fall if I'm going to get approached to play Santa at the mall. I mean, it's not quite long enough for that, but almost. I mean, I think I've seen Santas with beards this long. I don't know. Yeah, we're yo-yoing up and down. 3 people at the moment. I mean, this stream has almost been 2 hours, plus there's a few minutes in the previous stream, which I don't know if I'm going to try to splice them together or not. We'll see. I don't know how easy that's going to be to do on YouTube. I know how to do it on my phone. But yeah, I'm not really somebody who knows how to do a lot of the YouTube stuff. They're running the channel now for almost 2 years. And I don't think I've ever put text on a video. The only editing I ever did is really early on. I forced myself how to learn how to blur out images because I didn't blot out addresses, so I did that. I've not done it since then because I've always remembered to take care of it beforehand. And I've also learned how to take two videos and put them together. That was handy a couple of times. And I think once or twice I was able to like cut off an end of a video to make it shorter, to make it a short. Like because I've noticed when you try to record a short, it has to be 60 seconds or less. But then when you get to, if you go to 60 seconds and stop it, it usually saves as a minute and 1 second. So I usually try to stop my video at like 58 seconds if I'm pushing it, so that when it adds a second, I'm still under. But I think once I was trying to do a short and it was like a minute and 1, so I shaved off a second from the end and that did it. Just my parents last the other night, and my mom pointed out a couple of gray hairs. So I'm 31. Yeah, well, I was probably earlier than 31 when the gray first started coming in, but again, it just was the sideburns at first, and I thought it was cool. I did finish going through that first bag of minifigures, and I actually went through and pulled out a few interesting torsos and heads and helmets and stuff like that. But then there's still this bag of pieces, you know, heads and helmets and torsos and accessories and legs and all that, they were just there. I didn't think there was any particular anything interesting, but I didn't even open the second bag yet. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that because, I mean, it's a whole bag. It would take a while to start going through, and I could save it for the next stream, and it'd be like I could actually put it in the title saying, you know, opening up 2.4 pounds of bulk Lego that I've had for over a year and a half, or almost a year and a half. So, I mean, I can guarantee there's no Eternals set figures in there because I don't think the Eternal sets came out until like late last year. And since these were shipped to me in like the beginning of April of 21, there's no Eternals in them. Which is sort of like if you've seen any of my basement update videos, the dark purple totes. All of those totes are the only ones I'm really keeping track of. They are one purchase that I made. It was down in Virginia, and I bought 1,600 pounds of Lego from somebody for $3 a pound. Just the price was too good. I bought a sampling first, took a look through what I got. Was, you know, there was some non-Lego and some broken and dirty stuff, but it wasn't too bad. And so I called him back and I said, yeah, I think I want to buy it all. And it surprised him. He was like, all of it? Like, yep, I just need a final total of the weight. And then I rented a van from one of the car rental places, and a cargo van. And I actually bought a hand truck to help move it. And I went down there and bought it all. So, and then when I brought a bunch of stuff up from Virginia, that was part of what came up. And when I put it in totes, because he thought he was, this is kind of funny. He bought boxes from like Home Depot to store the Lego in, because he was planning on doing Bricklink at one point as well. And so he'd been buying from people for a number of years, little bits here and there. And at one point he bought these boxes. He thought it was this great deal because they had handholds. It would be easy to carry. But you can't fill the box up beyond the level of the handhold or stuff starts spilling out. And so, like, you know, he started stacking the boxes up and they'd crush down because there's no Lego in the box above the handhole line. So the boxes were a complete disaster. And so I bought totes to put them in. And so all of that purchase went into those dark purple totes. And it took 45 totes to put it all in. I think a couple of totes are a little lighter than fully full. But yeah, there was 45 totes worth of Lego and stuff. It was, and other people had already bought some stuff from him at that price. There was I guess he had a guy there looking for train stuff. So a lot of train track was already pulled out because he's basically sifting through it to pull the train track out for the guy. I mean, I know I got some train track, but not a ton. But I also, because I know it was January of 2020, it was right before the pandemic hit. I know that anything in there is going to be older than that. So it's kind of, you know, it'd be kind of neat to look at that and say, okay. But I also would like to start a sorting process of just that stuff, so I can get an idea of exactly how good of a purchase it was. Like when I'm done, I can weigh the non-Lego, see how much that was, and subtract it off, and just figure that out. Just kind of get an idea of, was it as good of a deal as I think it was. I mean, I'm sure I'll make money, but it'll just be kind of fun. Yeah, one tote would be enough. But I mean, I find all over the place, like just little tiny purchases. Like I just bought. It's kind of funny. So I was going through a thrift store recently. Oh, there's 6 people in here. Hello, 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 people. And I saw this. You know, they bag up like Matchbox cars. It was a bag of Matchbox cars. I didn't even look at it because it wasn't Lego. And I went and I circled around to the other side of that to look at that side of the rack. And then the same bag, I noticed there was one of the wedge wings. It's maybe about this big, a wedge wing. And I was like, is that a Lego piece? And it looked like it was. So I went back around, pulled the bag out, a lot of like Matchbox car type stuff in it. And sure enough, there was a Lego wedge plate in there, and it was actual Lego. I could see the logo through the bag. And then there was like what looked like maybe the front of an X-wing, and then there was what looked like a clone. And I'm like, they only want $3.99 for the bag. The likelihood of the clone is worth $10 or $8 to $10 is pretty good. So I bought the bag. It turns out it was a clone. The torso is cracked. So the torso is garbage, but I can salvage the arms and the hands, the head, the helmet, and the legs, plus all the other pieces. I'm sure it'll be fine. And then most of the cars were actually like Matchbox or Hot Wheels or whatever cars, like from the movie Cars. So I don't know if those have specific value. So that'll be something else I'll deal with at some point. But yeah, I mean, you just got to pay attention to things, see what you get. So anybody who hasn't said hello. I see there's 5 people watching. I think I know of 3 or 4 of the people that are watching. So there's somebody not there. Are you on your way to your event, JB, or did it get canceled or something? Because I know you were going to go watch, or did you already go do it? I mean, maybe it was a short balloon-looking thing. Adam R. Hello, Adam R. From wherever it is in the world you hail from, or come from. Maybe you don't hail. Just got to my brick kiln to drop off my new counting. Oh, good. You got a counting scale. Awesome. Good deal. Saskatchewan. I've been in Saskatchewan. But I gotta save it. It's so expensive. Yeah, those counting scales are going to be good, though. I have 2. I bought one. I was learning how to use it, and then I realized that it wasn't accurate enough. And that's why it's a tough thing. Is I think the one I bought first said that it was accurate to 0.1 ounces. And I'm like, well, that's pretty good. That's like 1/10 of an ounce. That's great, you know? Or maybe it was even 0.01 ounces. I'm not sure. Leave for the balloon event in about 30 minutes. Well, you got a few minutes then. But then when I was counting like 1 by 1 round plate, it wasn't being accurate enough. And I did some research, and it turns out that like 0.01 ounces is still heavier than like 0.1 grams. So then I went and did some research, and I bought another counting scale that is accurate to 0.1 grams. So I have 2. And I'm sure they'll both get used down there, and it'll be nice to have 2 different ones, but you know, one is going to be the more accurate one than the other. But yeah, there was another Discord besides Just a Brick in the Bucket that I'm in, and somebody was talking about how he just bought a label printer, the thermal label printer, and he'd been using a regular printer for 7 years, and he's like he didn't want to spend the money on it. He's like, he's much about like protecting the bottom line as much as possible. I'm like, yeah, I get that. But then I replied, I'm like, 7 years, if you're only shipping out 1 item a week for 7 years, that's like 350 items right there. And it takes you, let's say, 2 minutes extra to print it, cut it, or fold it, and tape it to your package. Not even taking into consideration the paper cost, the ink cost, the tape cost, but just looking at your time cost. I figured, if you're paying yourself $15 an hour, if your time is worth $15 an hour, in 7 years, that's $180 you could have paid for a label printer. And I'm thinking to myself, like, sure, it's a lot of money to buy off the bat, but it's just one of those things that to me, it's like, I bought one already. I have, and I bought the wireless one because I needed the wireless one. My girlfriend has been selling stuff on Mercari, and so because I was going to be printing labels from 2 different places, I wanted the wireless one, so I just have to have the one printer, and either one of us could send a label to it. So yeah, it just, and if you send out 2 packages a week instead of 1, you'd pay, you'd get $180 worth of value in 3.5 years. And if you did 4 every 1.75 years, and that's if your time is worth $15 an hour. If you value your time even more than that, it's even faster. And it's just like, he did reply. I haven't had a chance to say anything back because I've been doing the stream, but he did reply saying that, early on, he was more concerned with money than time. And I get it. But now he's more concerned with time than money. And I certainly understand. I mean, if you just don't physically have the money to buy it, you do what you got to do. And I understand that. But, I've been in the position where I can buy things. So I've been trying to buy things when I can, as I get ideas for things. Picked up both the David West suggested. The small one came today. The large one supposed to come tomorrow. Very cool. Very cool. Yep. I hope you like those. I admit I did not look at the actual link listings for them, but I mean, I have them already. But I mean, I did like the fact that they showed how sensitive they were right in the text there, and that's why I made the comment they did about you needing one that's pretty accurate there, especially for. I mean, you've got all those 1x1 round white plates. Those are going to be a prime example. Actually, did you already count your 1x1 round white plates? Because I'm kind of curious. You should use your counting scale. You should double check your count. 2x4 bricks. Yep, exactly. But yeah, you should go ahead and test it on your 1x1 round white plates. I think that'd be a good test. Counted castle. Yes, you were hoping the castle would be $350. Yeah, price increases. I did not watch it. There was a YouTube video somebody did where they basically did an analysis of Lego's cost price increases, and was it like greed or was it actual expenses? And I think the TLDR of the whole thing was that it was actually more actual. Their costs were going up, and I won't say that Lego is really great at communicating. There's plenty of YouTube people out there who have pointed out ways that they are not good at communicating, and I will agree with that. There are certainly things that they should communicate to us more. The fact that they are marketing to an adult audience now, adults welcome, and producing so many large sets and really good sets. 2022 has been a bumper crop of amazing, amazing sets, and it really hurts the wallet. But I think because of those things, they really need to consider upping their communication. I mean, I remember back in the day when certain retailers would get a year, the January releases in like early to mid-December. And I was all excited because I was like, oh, it's 1983, but it's December. And it's like, this store has like 1984 Lego set in it. And so I would try to buy one or get one because then I get the catalog and I get to look at the catalog and see all the stuff that was coming out, because it was before the internet and there was no way to really communicate with other people about things. And Lego probably didn't have to communicate with anybody. They just had their product and they put it out. And there was a lot less they were putting out. If you do some of the searches, I mean, the number of different sets they put out now is crazy. I mean, and especially with the polybags and things like that. I mean, they've always had small sets, although they weren't always polybag. They used to come in little tiny boxes too. But the number of different sets has just exploded. And like before 1985 to 1989, the number of sets that were priced at over $100, you could probably count on one hand. Usually $100 was like the cap. It was huge. And like even 80 was a huge cost from a set. So yeah, I mean, I think it's unfortunate there was a price increase. It's too bad, but it is the way it is. And I'm not going to complain too much about it. I did count them already. I have a pick-a-brick cup of those quarter tiles that I just estimated, and I know I shot low on them. Yeah, so yeah, I would test it on the round tiles to see how accurate the scale is / how accurate you think your counting is. And then once you have that, you can go ahead with the quarter tiles. It's a great thing. 6 people. People still wanting to hang out. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty much out of hot chocolate, though. I'm going to have to switch to water. Which is just good for me. So. I'm a big proponent of water. I drink a lot of water. Yesterday, when I had friends over to help out moving stuff, I think I drank down 4 bottles of water. I got 7 people. Well, if we've got 7 people, I guess maybe I'll. You know what I'll do? I'm going to hold that bag of minifigure parts, and I'm going to get the other small box and see that my webcam follows me. If I had actually angled it down before I started the stream and before I plugged it in, I think it would have stayed down because that's what I did last time. I understand the increase in cost, but it really hurts to a lot of us. Yes, and I understand that, but it's kind of like, you know, gas prices go up because the oil price goes up or the demand increases, and it's like, you know, I don't know. Yeah, and I was smart enough I didn't have a knife ready, so I'm having to break into this one. It is heavier than the other one, so I'm pretty sure it's not just minifigure parts, but I do have packing slip. So we're going to look at the packing slip first. All right, this was, oh, okay. I paid for this on March 28th of 2021. So yeah, and what is this? It's a 10-pound plus box of unsorted Lego and Lego-like toys that with tax and shipping, I paid $48 for. So $4.80 a pound is what I paid for this. So right around what I like to keep myself limited to. Sorry I'm not engaging in the chat much, Doug. I'm enjoying listening in while forming up basement walls for a concrete pour for an addition on my house. Well, that's pretty cool. An addition on the house. Is this going to be a Lego edition or just a general edition? Don't worry about answering anytime soon. Get back to me with that answer when you get a moment to come back to the typing that. All right, so now I'm going to move these minifigures aside. I've got another tote here, another clear tote that I'm going to pour this box out into. So anybody who's got their volume up to hear me more, I'm going to give you like 30 seconds to turn the volume down because this pouring is going to get loud. But I'm going to pour this box off into that tote. I see there's a little piece of cardboard here that may have been from a Lego box, perhaps. It could be. So there is non-Lego in here. General, but I'm sure Lego will find its way in there. Yeah, I hear you there. There are few rooms in my house that don't have Lego. And they're bathrooms, I think. And, well, 2 of the bathrooms have Lego in them. One of them, actual Lego. I had 4 Acromills drawer units that I had moved from Illinois. And what I did is I put cardboard over the front and the back and taped it. And then on the cardboard, I wrote top and do not tip with an arrow for the top. And they made it all the way to New York. And then from where I moved, when I moved back from Illinois, from there to here, as far as I know, they never got tipped. And then I had them piled up in one spot. And then one of the cats was jumping up on one of them and knocked it over. And so the cardboard came a little loose and some pieces escaped and it was, you know, on its side. So that particular one is a mess probably. But I moved them into the one bathroom that we keep closed, keep cats out. The cats discovered toilet paper at one point, and they liked pawing at it to unravel it. And so I was trying to, we keep the toilet paper in the master bedroom in a drawer next to the toilet so that the cats don't get to it. And I've been we've been keeping all the doors to the other bathrooms closed or through another door so the cats can't get in there. And my thought process is like in maybe a year or so, they'll forget about the whole toilet paper thing and maybe I can actually put the toilet paper back. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. All right, so now that I've given people enough warning, I'm going to pour the box of Lego into the tote, and we'll start looking at it. Almost every single piece came out in the pour except for this piece. This one here did not come out in the pour. And that's not even Lego, I don't think. I'll have to check that in a moment. Let me turn this light back on. It helps me. Yeah, that's not Lego. Well, they did say Lego and Lego-like building toys. I definitely see a bunch of non-Lego, but I think there's probably more Lego in here than there's non-Lego. All right, so I'm going to move the figures. And I'm going to set up one of these little bins over here for non-Lego so that I know. And yeah, let me move this stuff out of the way as well. And that figure there. All right. Oh, well, if I stand, it's going to fall on my head. That's no good. Is that your board game and trading card games collection up on the shelves beside? Board games are over here. Role-playing games are over here, and it continues at the other side of the window. You probably can't see there's another bookcase over there, and I need more room for both desperately. My end goal at some point is to have built-in shelves built in this room. Now, so we'll talk about this briefly since it came up. Behind me, you can see that I've got these two sets of double windows. Right here, and then on the other side of this window over here, the windows used to be wider. There used to be more window. And actually, right over here is the slider to a deck. And if you see there's like plaster there, the slider used to be wider, and I had them narrow it. And then over here, you can see that there's behind the white bookcase, there's more plaster type thing. Well, those windows over there used to be wider. This used to be a very, very windowed room. As a matter of fact, there used to be triangle windows up above the windows. And last summer, I realized how bloody hot it got in this room, even with central air. So I ended up having them install this mini split, which I'm glad for because this room is now air conditioned, even though I don't have central air anymore because a whole other story. We'll get that back next year. But so I had them shrink the windows and the doors in this room for the idea of needing more wall space for shelves. And I'd like to get built-in stuff built all the way around. And then what I'm thinking is where the windows are, like behind me and over on the other side, building benches with storage underneath that go in front of the windows. And I have some ideas for how that will all work. But before then, I'm just going to have like these cheap bookshelves that I already have up in here. I don't have any trading card games here. There are some card games over here, but they're not trading card games. But yeah, I need more space for all of that at this point. It's just not enough. Just the way it is. All right, so let's see. I mean, this looks like a Marvel type piece because it says "I want you." It looks like Captain America there, so that came from one of the Marvel sets, clearly. We're going to save that for non-Lego. Little spinny thing. I'm not going to probably pull a lot physically out. We'll pull non-Lego out. Like here, that's a non-Lego piece. Got a spot for that over there. Here's a 2x4 plate with its Toe Mater sticker on it. I'm pretty sure it's a sticker. No, I think that's a print. That's cool. It's a printed piece. How about that? More non-Lego. This is an under tile, what I call it, because it's got the studs on that side and then the tiles on the other side, but it's got a printing. It says CPLJ14. So maybe somebody with Bricklink or Brickstock handy could look that up. I'm kind of curious what that is. It is a sticker. Yeah, that is definitely a sticker. There's a piece of paper. That's not Lego. A little slip of something. The purple like pontoon boat. Oh. Okay, so two things. A 1x2 tile with police printed on it. That's an older piece. But then I saw this. I mean, it's not in great shape. It's kind of worn. 1x2 classic space planet on a blue brick. That's pretty awesome. That means there is some older pieces in here, and it's possible I saw this in the pictures. And I said, oh, there could be some older pieces. Let's grab it. So who knows? That's not Lego. When I was pouring it, however, I saw no figures. So I'm not expecting to see any figures in here. Perhaps some parts, but I mean, I guess that could be one of the buildable figures, one of the parts to that, but I don't really count that. There's some, you know, the Bionicle type joint protectors and that kind of thing. Yeah. See, that's a non-like. The color is wrong. It's just some garage door pieces. I always thought these were cool pieces, and these have been around for decades. They're really cool. There's another one. Oh, and it's got the stop too, the one with the handle. There. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. More of the joint armor protection pieces. One of the upright pieces. I find this a little. This would be the kind of thing where David West would be like, oh, and this is worth this, and this is worth that. And I just don't have that level of knowledge yet, but this is kind of a cool claw type thing from one of the larger figures, or maybe a dragon or something like that. Do I remember right? Well, at one point I did collect them. I got into Magic the Gathering right at the end of beta and Unlimited. And I have a lot of unlimited cards. A friend of mine, really sad story in some ways. We were basically trying to collect a whole set. And the Moxes were really difficult to get a hold of. They just were pretty darn uncommon. There was 5 of them. And my friend had really, really good luck. He had found like 4 or 5 of the Black Lotus cards, and he ended up trading 3 or 4 of them, you know, one less than he had, I think, to get the Moxes he was missing. And then at some point, several years later, we decided to get out of it. And this was before eBay. And we went and we threw, there was a Magic the Gathering message group post type thing. And he set it up, and we basically did an auction that way, listed the cards we have, and then people would bid on them. And then we'd say, you know, we're going to run it for 2 weeks, and every day we'd reprint the listing with what the current bids were, and it sold. Well, some of them sold for a lot of money. One person in Germany bought about $3,000 worth of cards, and he was also collecting the money for it and that sort of thing. And it turned out that the $3,000 was my cut of everything that had sold, including that $3,000 worth. And so we wired that to a bank account, and I used that money as a down payment on the first car that I bought for myself, which was a 1992 Honda Civic hatchback. I love that car. And that was back in like 95, I think. Hello. Thought the stream hadn't started, but I guess you were having technical issues. I did have some technical issues. There was some discussion that the stream was jumping, so I stopped it like under 10 minutes in of doing it, and it restarted the whole thing. And apparently the link I posted in the Just Brick in the Bucket chat was the incorrect link. I posted the link to the setting up a stream instead of the actual stream. I guess I don't have a lot of experience doing this sort of thing, so I did the wrong thing. Which I'm sure probably affected the number of people that could find me easily, but I will learn as I go. That's kind of with everything. one of these little tiny micro car bases. I think they use these for the micro fighters. I think they are, not the Star Wars ones, but the like the Marvel ones and stuff. Mighty Micros. Mighty Micros. I think that's what those are. And then, of course, there's that claw. If anybody knows anything about that claw, I'd be curious. One of these longer plant pieces. I always found those cool. I found an article somewhere that, you know, everybody knows that Lego's made out of ABS plastic, but apparently they use upwards of like 15 to 20 different plastics in all the pieces. So, like, I mean, clearly, this is not ABS plastic. It's too bendy. And there are so many different plastics that they use, even ones that feel similar, they're not exactly the same. Like, I think all the trans pieces, like this one, got away from me, are a different plastic than the standard ABS, just because of the needs of it being transparent. So like this one, I guess it's not a standard ABS plastic, it's something slightly different. So yeah, it was a very interesting article I read. Here's a wall panel. This is a sticker. Just a little, it's a quarter circle round thing. Here's a non-Lego brick. There's a, whoops, Batman logoed piece. They probably use that in a dozen sets. Huh. Some sort of, I believe, an Ninjago piece. Print. It's a sticker on a slope. Yeah. And then you get pieces like this, like these fake Lego like rock formations. You know, I can see using these, like if you had something else you want to do with them. Like I know some people have used Lego minifigures as like miniatures for like role-playing games and stuff like that. So like having this sort of thing for terrain would be kind of cool. There's the Mater printed piece to go with the printed tile. That's kind of cool. This is a piece that's been around for a number of years, but I remember when it came out, I thought it was a pretty cool looking piece. And you almost tell just by the shape of it what it is. It's like, you know, don't need to see it necessarily that well. Wow, that's piece tells you right down the side it was made in China, just in case you're curious. Horrible, horrible color. Printed piece would look like maybe an eye on it or something like that. Hard to know. Hard to know. Oh, look at that. I have two of these claw hands. That's kind of cool. Thinking they probably came from a dragon set. They're too large for almost anything else, really. There's a fair number of these large plates, though, too. And look, a brick separator. I was just thinking I should get a brick separator so I can take these pieces off this and actually take the large plates and get them out of here so it's easier to see the stuff that is in here. So we'll put them over here. Yeah, there's a whole number of these larger plates. More than I would normally expect to find in a bulk lot, perhaps. Pizza, taco, and burger, $1 a piece, it looks like. Yep, $1 a piece. I mean, would you pay $1 for a slice of pizza or a taco or a burger? Maybe. Yeah. The large plates category is certainly getting bigger from that. Oh, and look, I always find these amusing. You see these in bulk lots, and it's like, well, that's not Lego. 5 people, very cool. What, I know people have talked about like crazy things they found in bulk lots. You know, here's an interesting thing. Also, I forgot to mention this. In the Gentry lot, the final tally on the Gentry lot was 7 cents. I found 7 pennies in the Gentry lot. So, because it wasn't a great purchase in some ways, that helped ease that a little bit. Yeah, look, there's the dragon head, probably for the one that has the claws. I would imagine so. Where did I stick those claws? Oh, yeah, they're in there. Okay. Yeah, probably a lot of these are the same sort of thing. It has so many of those Friends slide pieces. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen some of those too. I think, yeah, this one is probably what you're talking about. Oh, there's an interesting piece in green, Trans green. It doesn't seem like it's a common color for that piece. Another fake base plate, well, not just plate, non-Lego. But yeah, these larger than 2x on at least one side base plate. So actually, they'd have to be larger than 2 on both sides. So 3x3 or bigger. There's a lot of them in here. I mean, there's some. Oh, there's a big Batman symbol one. Huh? Is it Lego? I think it is. It's kind of probably a Friends castle-ish kind of side. That's not Lego. I was intrigued by the color, but it's not Lego, so not as interesting. Actually, I'll probably keep the brick separator out. I hesitate to think how many brick separators I have. I wonder if I never put them for sale, how many I would have. I mean, I don't think they sell for a ton of money, so. Well, there's something that doesn't happen often. So here's a piece that's got printing on the slope. It's a slope, but it's also got, or not printing, but a sticker. It's also got a sticker on the side. So a sticker on the side and on the top. I mean, it's not often I see a sticker applied to 2 different surfaces of the same piece. What's the most bulk I've dumped out at once? Not much. Maybe 15 to 20 pounds at one time. I mean, it just gets to be a point of like, how much space do you have? I mean, I joked around about getting a kiddie pool and filling it with Lego, but I don't think I really should do that. I mean, maybe I should. I mean, I don't know if I feel like I want to spend the money on a kiddie pool, but I mean, I could certainly, you know, dump out a bunch of stuff into a kiddie pool, and that would be a lot. Is that Lego? No. It's an interesting printed piece, a little swirl pattern on a 2x2 tile, but it is not Lego. It's kind of unfortunate. I like seeing new printed tiles and stickered tiles and stuff like that. Surprisingly, all these large pieces seem to actually be Lego, too. Tartaruga Brothers. It's a non-Lego piece. This is a sticker, like a little flaggy clip thing. Not really sure which way it's up on it, but there it is. Huh. It looks like it's almost like some sort of a visor piece or something. Yeah. Well, the problem, and this is, you can find videos on this sort of thing on YouTube. I've seen it in the past where there's a limit to how high you can get something before it spreads out a certain amount. I mean, yeah, I mean, based on the totes that I have, I mean, I could probably fill my basement to about a foot deep, would be my guess. No, it probably wouldn't be fun. You are correct, sir. So right now I'm just kind of looking through for printed pieces. I guess that since I don't have minifigure stuff, the printed piece is the next most interesting. I'm sticking those over here. And also when I see these horrible, horrible non-Lego pieces, I'm pulling that too. It's just a door. It's not. It's cool, but it's not a printed piece. Non-Lego piece. Some friend's set or something. There's a printed piece from a Cars set. It's a 2x3 tile, which is not a size you see often printed on, I don't think, the 2x3. It's usually 2x2 or 2x4, but this one is a 2x3. So it probably would be easier to find in that case, too. My phone is blown up a few times. I'm just going to check to make sure it's nothing important. Oh, okay. All right. So I'll deal with that later. I'll leave it on my phone so I see it. Our printed piece from like a Bionicle / other buildable figures. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. I am more than willing to answer questions. If it'll keep people more interested or give people something else to listen to. Another brick separator, just in case I need two. Occasionally you do. Having two is sometimes a good thing. Well, there's an interesting thing. Interesting. So, okay, you've got the hinge pieces for like treads, and somebody has attached in that piece, so you can actually connect those two. That's an interesting connection that I don't think I would have thought of. Things like that interest me sometimes. Do I know if I have any buttons in the castle? No, not that I'm aware of. It's possible that I've bought some set slash, you know, bulk that maybe had some, but nothing that I'm specifically aware of. The big problem is too is that I haven't kept track of anything. Like this box was from March of 21, the end of March, but still, it was March of 21 when I paid for it, and I just never got to it. It's been here all this time in my entry area, just eating up space. Another brick separator, up 3 of those. So yeah, I mean, is there castle stuff in here? Yeah, there's definitely castle stuff. There's a castle piece, just the wrong color. But yeah, I don't know of any that specific. No. Oh, that's cute. There's a sticker. It's one of these sloped pieces, and it says "City" on it. Isn't that sweet? Just a simple city. So yeah, I'm just basically going through and looking for printed pieces right now. Pretty sure that's not Lego. Maybe it is. Oh, maybe it is. It is. Wow. So this is a Lego piece. Trans neon green 2x2 brick with thing at the end. Don't know what they call that. Large panel piece with a city print on it. City, like a map type thing. Maybe it came from like a police station or something. Huh. Pullback motor. It looks like it could be Lego, but I don't think it is. It doesn't seem to say Lego in any of the spots that would normally say Lego. There's a Lego Minecraft thing. I don't really know what it is. I have to say I'm not surprised that we've dropped back down to like 2 people. It's probably not particularly interesting at this point. Yeah. It's stuck. I'm not fighting with it that much. All right now. Not without my tools. I got some specific tools that I use to get pieces unstuck from different places. There's a printed or a stickered piece of some sort. So there's it's a clock piece. What time is it? It is 11:56, perhaps. I'm not really sure what it's from. Stream is very good for records. Apparently listening while labeling drawers. Oh, labeling drawers is no fun. How many do you have to do? feel free to answer that at some point. You don't have to like stop labeling to do it to answer. I'm just kind of curious. More crap, non-Lego. All right, so there's a minifigure piece. Whoa, is it real Lego though? Is the next question. Yep, pretty sure it is. It's a hair piece. It's like a little, almost like a clown, or maybe this is like a Bob Ross looking piece of hair. It's in like a dark brown, I believe. So yeah, we had some minifigure stuff. I guess I could toss this in the minifigure bin way over there, or make another one. But I found so little of it, I don't feel inclined to make a whole bin for it over here. Another brick separator. We're up to 4. Huh. That's it's a Lego piece. It is like a car base, one that I don't think I've seen before. Very strange. I wonder if it's out of a Happy Meal toy. Very strange. It's a window with a little Spider-Man web sticker on it. There's a flag piece with a sticker on it. So hard to see. Heading out. Well, you two have a good time. Be kind all the time. 1,000, 1,400 yesterday. Yeah, that's a goodly number. It took 2.5 sessions to sticker all mine. Just over 7,000. I think it was 7,200 drawers. So yeah, it takes some time, but I definitely think it's always the better choice than handwriting on them. I mean, I suppose if you only ever were going to use one drawer unit, it would be fine, but well, here's an interesting sticker. Oh, this had to be from the Audi Speed Champions. Thank you. I hope so. I don't imagine it's going to go too much longer. I can't imagine it's particularly interesting at this point. I mean, I'm just sitting here poking through pieces and chatting a little bit. I mean, on first pass, there's the amount of non-Lego in this one isn't horrible. I mean, I say that as I find a whole stack of 2x8 plates that are not Lego, but still. Here's another slope piece with a sticker. It looks like there's like a snake head on the top and a key at the bottom. So kind of strange looking. Oh, I haven't seen one of these in a while. This is one of the Hero Factory little like crab spidery things. Those are kind of cool. I think that's supposed to go on from the underside. Maybe not. Oh, well, there's an interesting cape. Not in the best of shape, but it's kind of glittery. It's like sky blue with like silver glitter spots. Maybe some hard to tell. I think they're all the same color, just like left little glitter spots. I just had one 5 minutes ago. I'm not sure which one you're talking about that you had 5 minutes ago, but I hope it's a good thing. Not like, you know, a stroke or something. That's nothing to joke about, though. I probably should not have said that. Oh, the hero. Yeah. Cool. I actually have a few of them set aside. I don't know if I do anymore, just because I thought they were kind of cool. One of them, somebody had chewed on one of the legs enough that it was like almost twice as long as it's supposed to be. So kind of ruined it, but whatever. Oh, this is probably some Star Wars canopy piece. It's fairly scratched, so I don't think it's going to be worth a ton, but there it is. Bionicle and Lego, yep. That in some ways intimidates me too. I know a lot of it can be worth a lot, the Bionicle, but man, trying to identify it, I just feel like would be a daunting task. I mean, I'll get there, but Bionicle will not be one of the first categories I sort. Nope. Another brick separator. We're up to 5. A Friends printed piece, I believe. So a 2x2 tile. Yeah, I found a few cases where I think either the numbers weren't present or they were in a place that I wasn't looking. And I found Boba Fett. Kinda. Yeah. You're a host of the live stream. Boba Fett. Not really holding up there too well for that. There goes my water. And the camera followed me. Oh, was it Django? Well, at least I had the last name right. Huh. Well, that's got to be a Ninjago. It's like a snake skeleton skull helmet type thing. I've tried it several times over the last few months, but I've never heard your backstory as it relates to Lego. Did you start as a collector? No, I wouldn't say I started as a collector. I haven't. Well, that's not so true. So I got my first set 442 in 78 or 79. I can't tell you for sure which year, but it was one of those 2 years. And I've mostly been on as far as Lego, but I would probably say I did have some dark age time, but a lot of that was more influenced by lack of money more than actually being a dark age. And as far as buying and selling stuff goes, I was selling on eBay and Amazon for like 8-ish years between 2010 and 2019, 11 and 19, somewhere around that area. And some of it was Lego. Originally, it started as stuff I had in my own personal collection because I needed to generate money. Things were tight, so I had to sell some stuff. Not terribly happy about that, but it had to happen. So, I'm not going to begrudge it at this point. It's long gone. And then also I realized that, I could make money off of it. I think one of my favorite things along those lines was, and I couldn't even tell you the year, but it could be trackable. The white architecture studio set was available at Barnes & Noble. And I think it was a $150 set. And Barnes & Noble had a 30% off coupon. And I was able to use the coupon on that set. So I had went ahead and bought one when I probably shouldn't have spent the money on it. While somebody was at work, and I ended up selling it while they were at work the same day. So when I picked them up from work, I said, I've got good news and I've got bad news. And of course, the good news was that I sold something for X amount of money. I don't remember 100% how much it was. And the bad news was that I just bought that something for this amount of money, whatever it was, $150 less tax, less than 30% plus tax. But this kind of inspired them, and we basically spent several days driving around to different Barnes & Nobles, buying more of that architecture studio and selling them. Now, at this point, I wasn't selling on Amazon. I was only selling on eBay, which is unfortunate because you could get a higher price on Amazon. I just wasn't qualified or wasn't okay to sell on Amazon yet. But it was getting to the point where I had a friend of mine. I'd given him my eBay password and information. And so we would go to a Barnes & Noble, pick one of these architecture studios up, and then I would take a couple of pictures of it, or after a while we stopped doing that, and I would just explain to him what the condition was. Like, okay, it's got a dent here, and there's a crease here, or whatever. And he would just basically take the listing that I already had, relist it essentially, change the description so it was a different item. And oftentimes that would sell before I got home or before I got to the next Barnes & Noble to buy another one. And they were also doing a thing at Barnes & Noble at the time where if you bought, and they do this oftentimes around Christmas, but if you bought, because this was like Thanksgiving-ish time, might even been over Thanksgiving weekend. If you buy like $50 in gift cards, you'll get a $10 gift card for free that you can use later. And so what I started to do is I started to walk into a Barnes & Noble. I would, especially if they had 2 banks of registers, I'd go up to one bank of registers, buy 1 or 2 of the gift cards to get the free gift card, which you can't use right away, but you can save it for, I think they were good starting in like 2 or 3 weeks. And then if they had a back set of registers, do the same thing. Then pick up any of the architecture studios they had, or one usually, because it's usually only stocked one. Go up to the register, buy it, and then use the coupon to get the discount. Use the standard gift cards that I just purchased to get the free gift cards to pay for it. And then when it was all said and done, I think I had $170 in gift cards that, like, after the first of the year I could spend on other things. So it was a pretty lucrative gig. They've since changed it so you can only use a coupon once, which is probably smart on their part. But yeah, I was actually calling, a friend of mine and I were both calling Walmarts across the country because they would ship them too. You didn't always have to buy it in store. And I think he had one shipped to him from one of the stores in Alaska. It was a good time to be selling Lego for sure. Another one that kind of started Lego for him is a big thing. And then for me, I mean, Lego is a big thing for me, but not so for investing. But we were at a mall and it was around Christmas time and they had just opened up like a gift shop type thing, but it was electronics boutique before they merged with what was it, GameStop, I guess. They had like these little, they'd open them up around Christmas time. They were tchotchke type stores. They didn't have games, but they had game related stuff in them. So like, you know, there's some game where there's a recognizable sword. You could buy a foam sword and just things like that. And one of the things that I noticed they had was the first Minecraft little cubey box that came out, which I think was an ideas set, maybe not, I forget. But they had 3 of them behind the counter, and I was like, "Are those for sale?" And because I was thinking maybe somebody had them on hold, and I knew they were hard to get a hold of. I had heard that about them, and no, they were for sale. And as I recall, I bought all 3 of them. They were, I want to say, $35 a piece. So it was $105. Again, probably money we shouldn't have spent necessarily. We saved one as a gift, and I sold the other 2 for like $110 a piece. So more than making up for the money we spent, even saving one. And yeah, that kind of started off, and I told him about it, and he did some research, and this was probably in September or October. And then by the beginning of the next year, he and his wife had spent, I think, close to $10,000 on Lego for investing. And then he started switching gears a little bit and going to like getting it on clearance and things like that. But yeah, that's kind of where that started. So right around the time the first Minecraft little cubey box came out, that's kind of where the investing in Lego came from. Now, I was aware of Bricklink at the time already, and I'm pretty sure I already had an account, but I hadn't really done anything with it. I think I bought something on it, which is why I had the account, but hadn't done anything else. But that's probably where that started. That was probably a much longer answer than anybody was expecting. Here's an interesting looking head. This side looks somewhat normal. This side has like a half computerized face or half metallic face. That's kind of bizarre. So yeah, that is my story. It was a perfect answer. I always enjoy how people get into the game. Yep. And I had been, like I said, I'd been selling things on eBay for years. And actually, the same friend, he'd been selling stuff on eBay even longer, and I'd been helping him with some, and actually had sold some things through him, or basically, like, you know, listed on his account and still sold it. That kind of got my interest started in that sort of thing, like the whole reselling kind of thing. And either it was things I already had or things that I found that I knew would be good, and also clearance shopping and that sort of thing. I mean, I would say at this point in the game, I'm not generally looking to pay full price to turn around and sell it. I don't like the current concept that some people do, and I get it. It's not for me, I guess. When I say I don't like it for me. Of buying a set brand new, maybe even first day it's available, hoping it goes out of stock, and then being able to turn around and sell it for even a modest profit quickly because, well, I have it and you can't get it anywhere else if you really want it right now. I'm like, for me, if I really want something, I'll just wait. I mean, I suppose it'd be a different story if it's like going out of production, but then I guess my concept is on that it's been in production for a while. I had plenty of time to get it. And I can't really, you know, I can't fault anybody other than myself not buying it if I didn't buy it when it was readily available. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that. I mean, people are going to do it. I get it. I just don't think for me it's the right thing. I don't know if this is Lego or not. It's this face, but it's like the anti-studs are on the bottom, so it's kind of a weird. I don't know if it's Lego or not. And there's been enough non-Lego in here that it does lead me to wonder. And there's a lot of this pearl gold that's not Lego. Like, it's a nice 1x3 slope, but it's clearly not Lego on the stud. So I'm having to be real careful. I keep seeing this pearl gold, like, oh, what's this? Like, oh, that's not Lego. Which then leads me to this. Like, here's what I used to call a barrel. It's a 1x1 round brick. It's pearl gold. Is it Lego? I mean, I would say probably not, just because there's been so much pearl gold in this lot that's not Lego. It also has a fairly big sprue mark. I don't know if you can see it. It's this black dot there on it. So yeah, that's probably not Lego. You know, and asking that question that got long-winded answer, it probably has the benefit of, well, it keeps people interested in the time that they're listening. In fact, it's better than my just pawing through pieces and making noise. I'm sure there's people that have left or stopped in and left and not been interested in just a bunch of noise. And I get it. You want to have some sort of engagement. Pizza. Not real pizza, though. This is a printed 2x2 tile of pizza. I mean, as much as there is some non-Lego in this lot, there's a lot that is. So, still a good buy. I don't think I'll have too much trouble getting my money back on this. I don't know if this is Lego or not. It's like this little ball joint with a, almost looks like it would go into a hand, but it's not quite long enough for that. I have no idea what it is. It's that the end of it looks too small to be one of the antenna from some of the aliens. Because this is like a Lego, it's red, but it's like the small little tooth. And the smaller part on the yellow one, it's actually the same length. I thought it was shorter, but it's actually smaller. It's not as big around as the red one. I have a feeling it's not Lego, but we will let it sit for the time being and figure it out later. What do we got here? Not Lego. I actually have a small bin of, is this Lego? It's stuff that I couldn't tell quickly enough. And so I just put it aside, made a separate spot. All right, this sticker is not doing well, but it looks like, you know, official Lego piece. It's one of these slopes like this. Let's see if you can see what that looks like on the, yeah, so that, but it's got this like UPS logo on it. It makes me think it came from a race car where UPS is the sponsor. I also wonder what kind of hoops Lego has to go through when they're doing this Speed Champion sets and they want to put all the, you know, sponsor stuff on, or not even Speed Champions, but if they're doing someone's specific car or something like that. What kind of hoops do they have to go through to get permission to put all those logos on it? Or maybe it's something where when you get somebody as a sponsor, part of the contract states that, you know, they can contract out the likeness of your logo in products and merchandising or something. I mean, it would make sense to me if they had that kind of a clause. Oh, wow, that's a tiny little piece. I know that's Lego. It's a little tiny gold crown. Has a little tiny pin. It would go in like a hairpiece or something like that on a minifigure or a mini doll. I don't think it's worth a lot, but it is Lego. How many of these do people find? 1 by 1 round tile eyes. There's like 3 or 4 different versions of it too. They're everywhere. And they're probably worth less than a penny a piece. I think I'm probably going to call it soon. So if anybody has any last minute questions or comments, please chime up quick, and because we're already at over 3 hours, and I have a feeling that's longer than anybody's going to watch after the fact. I mean, I've got a couple of die-hard channel fans that might watch it, but that's about it. Not too many people. And let me tell you how much I appreciate the die-hard channel fans sometimes, because oftentimes they're the only ones commenting on videos. So it reminds me that there are actually people watching the stuff, even though, you know, I can see how many people watched it. Although I think if you just clicked in, I think if you're there just for a few seconds and then you go, oh, I don't want to watch this, it still counts. So, you know, it might tell me that I've had 40 views, but maybe there's only been one person that's watched all the way through. So, yeah. And I know there's ways to get more information on that. And just, again, I'm not really well versed in a lot of that sort of thing. And, you know, it interests me a little bit, but I don't even have graphics yet for the channel. I mean, I'm working on it. I have somebody that I've asked to do it for me, but they haven't gotten to it yet. Late lunch. Okay, take care, Adam. All right. Well, I'm guessing there's no more urgent questions from anyone. Oh, look at that. Whoops. I believe that's from a Unikitty, and it got printing on all sides there. I mean, not the inside, but that's kind of cool. All right, so for the 3 of you that are left, or perhaps 2, if that the 3 is including Adam, who maybe not has exited yet or is delayed in response to his exiting, I am going to shut it down. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the flip side. And then there's the button, end stream. Take care.